was out there and he borrowed his boots off the umpires. He's got the exact same colour boots on as the umpires have got uniforms on this afternoon, Bailey. You're never going to miss him. You knew he was going to come out with something bright and flashy for round one, and he's absolutely delivered on that. So who's your five? Who's your five, John?
In order.
Yep.
Sandhurst, Gisborne, Eagle Hawk, the Storm, and I'm trying not to have rose-coloured glasses, but I think Castlemaine sneak in.
I love the fact, but isn't it great that people are tipping Castlemaine to get in there? I just think that's so good, whether it's right or not. The fact that we can legitimately have the conversation about Castlemaine maybe making the finals is great.
Well, with Kyneton disappearing from the competition, it's always been Castlemaine, Kyneton sitting around, around that, 6th, 5th, 7th position. Kyneton are gone now. Kangaroo Flat have been the nemesis for Castlemaine. We've been so close to them over the last few years. Didn't get them last year either. So, yeah, it'll be very, very interesting to see. I'm saying, definitely today Castlemaine we'll see what they've got against Maryborough today, but it should be quite an easy win, I think, to be honest.
I don't have them quite in there, and I don't have South Bendigo in there. So I've got pretty much the same top three as you, but then I've got Golden Square and Strathfield making out the final. So Gisborne come in, and South Bendigo unfortunately slip out of the top five.
And for no other reason, we want to see Castlemaine and we want to see a change at the top. Our job. Of course we do.
Absolutely.
And we want to see country clubs succeed. And Bailey Henderson did win the toss, so he'll be kicking to the club room's end. I just noticed a big black dog running around there.
Yes.
There was a bloke walking his dog, and he laid some Barker's eggs right in the middle of the oval, and he's picking them up while players are stiffing around him.
Oh, at least he picked it up.
Oh, gee.
You can't have that kind of hazard out on the field during the game.
Have a little bit of awareness, I say to it.
Beautiful dog, just quite a big Belgian Shepherd.
Good day for a walk, I must admit.
Yes.
Gee whiz.
Absolutely. So we get to
country footy.
Yes, it absolutely is. We get to look at this revamped Castlemaine team this afternoon for their first outing. Michael Hartley, his first as coach. It's going to be fascinating to see what he can deliver. What are you expecting from the big fella up front, Don?
Yeah, his aerial skills are great. Into the ground, he competes. Obviously an ex-AFL footballer, and he's at 30. He's still definitely going to be a really tough opponent to play against. He's got 198 arms go up. He's 9 foot tall. So it'd be interesting to see if they've got someone to match him. So he's, as I said, he reads the ball well, gets at the drop of the ball. He's got good hands. He did make a comment that he needed to do some work on his goal kicking, but I'm sure he'll be fine.
Plenty of excitement in this Maryborough team. Young Tom Myers going down into defence. Kyle and Frankie, who had a terrific season last year, down back for the Maryborough Magpies. And of course, Kobe Perry slotting himself back into that midfield. And the on-ball group that they've got there, Maryborough, is pretty solid around the footy. So a lot to like about what they're doing in the middle of the ground. Season 2024 in Bendigo football about to get underway. The battle of the traditional rivals. It is a Magpie matchup on Good Friday. Castlemaine and Maryborough. Here is John Hunter on Fresh Bendigo.
The experience of Ty Stewart. He jumped, but Brown Kerr won the tap for the Castlemaine Magpies. Socked it in the direction of Moran. A little give by hand. That was cute to McConaughey. McConaughey goes now inside forward 50. It's shallow. Tracking the football there was Brad Keogh towards the boundary line. And 30 metres out around from Castlemaine's goal in attack to the northern end. We'll have a ball in.
So first attacking opportunity for the home team. Hartley goes up in ruck, rips it out, throws on his right boot, straight up and down the mine shaft to full forward. A couple sitting under it, Frankie got over there. Bounces his way in the back pocket for Maryborough. Hands it off, tackle on try cross. Was he caught holding the ball? Umpire said no, waved it on. Right forward pocket now for Castlemaine. Ball is over the boundary line. And this time down in front of the canteen, it'll be tossed back in 30 around from the main goal.
Just over a minute, Castlemaine have attacked right in front of the club rooms. Big crowd here today. Awesome atmosphere. They'll go up in the ruck. A double-handed fist by Hartley doing the ruck work. Hurried kick out of the pack. It goes goalwards. They need to kill it, Maryborough, and they will. And the first minor score of the afternoon. Castlemaine one behind. Maryborough yet to score. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
And Frankie did enough to see it across the line in the ends. And the pace is on early in this one. Here is Lanfranchi at half-back, number one intercept player in the competition last year. Has it pinched from him there. Kick back inside the 50. Hartley goes upstairs. Can't quite juggle the delivery from Huntley. It was a bit too hot for him, and it's out for another throw in left forward pocket. Castlemaine into attack. But a promising couple of entries for them early as they look to build something up front. Again, it'll be Hartley and ruck. Stewart had front spot. Taken off the pack pretty cleanly by Zach Greaves. Talented forward who's made his way to Castlemaine this year, and another throw in, so the ball doing a lot of work up at that end of the ground.
Castlemaine in attack. They've got one behind on the board. Maryborough haven't had it in their forward 50 as yet. Umpire throws it in. Up they'll go. Stewart. It'll be Stewart against Hartley. Comes to ground level. 30 metres out from goal. A whistle on play. Might be a free kick here. Just trying to pick up what it's for. We'll go to Maryborough.
One was over the shoulder, I think.
And arguing his case there for Castlemaine is Greaves, who comes into the side. A lot of hype around him, Don.
Yeah, he was good a couple of weeks ago. He's definitely a goal kicker. But even out of Moulton, he likes some space, and as you can see straight away, I think I counted 8 players out of the D50. So that's probably going to be the biggest thing for Castlemaine.
Cal Huntley's got the footy as a flying shot. He puts it to the top of the square. It'll be a chest mark. I reckon Hartley's taken it. And on a pretty, well, it's not much of an angle, 45 degrees. It'll line them up for goal. So, just a bit of an error there for Maryborough, Don.
Yeah, well, you can't, though. Have a look at that's going to be Castlemaine's issue by the look of this early start, is the numbers that are going to be in their front half.
And Hartley pops it through for the season opener of 2024. His first, so Castlemaine a 1-1-7. Maryborough yet to score. Sponsor Parsons Towing in Castlemaine. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
What are we at? Where are we at, John? 5 minutes, 3 minutes in? 3 minutes in, and it hasn't left the forward line. So pressure good, and that nice long kick from Cal Huntley targeting Hartley was the key there. And nice set shot. As I said, he was a bit nervous about his set shots, but that was straight as a die.
Already you can see that the presence that he's providing gives them a real focal point up front. Just the new coach. Stewart in the middle for Maryborough. Chasing after the try cross. Hands it off to Perry. Tries to kick up toward half forward. Brody Burns stands in the way and takes a good juggling mark in front of Guy Constable. Burn at half back for the Magpies. He was so instrumental in their win against Maryborough this time in the corresponding game last season in round 10. Piece of on the wing on the broadcast side for Castlemaine. It was dragged to the holes. And we'll do it all again. Centre wing broadcast side. Main with the first goal on the board. 4.5 minutes played here. Round 1 in Bendigo footy.
Ty Stewart taps it, but sharp by Henderson, who tried to hand it to Slingo, and it was just knocked out of his hand. And in front of the timekeeper's box, we'll have another ball in. True centre wing.
Yeah, numbers around the ball, the keys, and there's not a lot of space, so it'll be interesting to see who can get on the end of this.
They haven't had a lot of possession of the footy, Maryborough, at the moment. Henderson tries to make a path and can't. Slingo getting involved. Perry picks it up from Maryborough and bangs it on the boot. Goes to half forward. Brody Byrne did well. Good bit of work by Maryborough through Collins. They'll go forward. In fact, it's gone out of bounds on the full. 50 metres out from Maryborough's goal. Broadcast side, which is the Jingle Street side. And it'll be a free kick to Hine. It was good last week, Hine. In fact, umpire's calling it back. He tried to play on. He's got his defensive goal at his back. Hine for Castlemaine. Looks inboard, then decides to dump it down the line. Looks there for Henderson, who's got back position. Good mark, Perry. Took it in front of his eyes, and for Maryborough, he'll look to pump it forward.
Captain coach, she kicks it straight into Henderson, bouncing ball in front of Swatton at half forward for Maryborough. Perry lays the tackle, then bustling his way through. Swatton applied some pressure. Hine, handball along the boundary line, taken well by Cal McConaughey. Inboard, turned it over. Perry kicks to the pocket. Russell accepts the chest mark. 35 metres out, 45-degree angle right of centre.
They were just a little bit cleaner there, weren't they? A lot of bobbling footy, but yeah, they say Kobe Perry stood up then, great overhead grab, and then he picked up that ground ball, and got a shot on goal.
Left foot kick from Fraser Russell comes back perfectly, and we've got a ball game on our hands early. 6 minutes into the opening term. Castlemaine 1-1-7. Maryborough with their first go to 1 straight 6. Score sponsor Bendigo City Framers. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Kobe Perry couldn't do anything more, I don't think, in regards to that. Great overhead, which I mentioned, that crumb here and release just into some open space, and a great finish into the full forward.
Trying conditions here at the Camp Reserve.
Trying.
It will be a day.
Trying not to be any better.
Yeah, no, it'll be cramping later on in the afternoon. Up in the middle, winning it will be Henderson. Swooped on it and then put it forward, and it's a mark taken deep in the forward pocket through Rickson. Rickson, too far out to score. He's probably 65. Now he kicks it long. He'll go goalward to the top of the square. They'll set themselves. Hartley was too deep. Maryborough will work it nicely through their back zone. Then they fumble. Castlemaine good pressure up forward. Receiving a handball there was McClure for Maryborough. Howie kick up to the wing. Intended target with Constable. Couldn't win it. Brody Burns for Castlemaine. Then he's dispossessed. The ball spills towards the boundary line, getting involved. Russell up the field. Good handball. They're out there now. Maryborough, a long kick forward. It's through Collins. Seth Collins, goalward, bouncing footy. And banks it through. It puts the Maryborough Magpies in front. They go to 2 goals straight, 12 to Castlemaine 1-1-7. Score sponsor JB Re-Stumping. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Fumble's the key, isn't it? Maryborough a lot cleaner at ground level. Castlemaine had their hands on the ball 3 or 4 times there and just couldn't find anybody. And all being around the ball, no spread away from it. So Maryborough, that spread then was terrific for Maryborough, and the finish was even better.
Yeah, Seb Collins looked up, saw nothing he liked. The kick went inside 50. He thought, where are you kicking that? He knew where he was kicking it. From about 65, it bounced its way through. Round curves down to the middle for Castlemaine. They'll get the takeaway through Huntley. Left foot kick was pinched by Perry. He kicks long to half forward for Maryborough. Well done from Brody Byrne. Put the spoil in. Ball bounced his way. Handball around the corner. He's looking for Darby Simmons, who went in, picked it up, got it back to Byrne along the boundary line. Left foot kick. Umpire said it was still in play when he got rid of it. Gee, Ben McConaughey went crashing into a couple of Maryborough bodies. And eventually the ball ricochets over the boundary line, just forward of centre wing for Maryborough. It'll be tossed back in. It's the visitors 2 straight, Main 1-1. We played 9 minutes in the opening term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Umpire will throw it in. Maryborough, competitive early. They look pretty good. Double-handed fist, but it goes straight to Cal Huntley, who overran the footy. Slingo probably took his eyes off the footy, went at it one-handed. He shouldn't have. Diving in after the footy was Darby Simmons, and on right half forward for Maryborough in attack, we'll have a ball up.
Jackson Hill taking the ruck coming down from fullback.
He will. It looks like Brown Kerr got injured. He might have just even be winded. Cal Huntley tracks the footy towards the boundary line. Perry did well just to put pressure on. Picking up the footy for Castlemaine with Zaid Murley. Tried to don't argue, and he can't do that. In fact, he's got a free kick. It was one of those don't argues that was under the chin, but nevertheless, it's with Zaid Murley. But Castlemaine Magpies on left half back.
Golden Square Premiership player. Intelligent kick into the middle of the ground looking for Cal McConaughey. Just overcooked it a little bit, but it was picked up nicely by Archie Rickson. Free kick and advantage here to the Magpies. Rickson off to McConaughey. He looks to fall forward. He looks further than that. He bounces it all the way through. In fact, it was touched off the boot, said the goal umpire. So, looked for a moment like it had bounced through. It only goes through for a minor score. Castlemaine 1-2, Maryborough 2 straight. Been playing just over 10 minutes opening term. So, Maryborough Magpies looking strong at the moment. Short pass, Collins. Just holding up the footy. Another short pass in the back half. Marked by Brown. Brown will sweep right to a teammate. Short pass. Ends up in the direction of Snelly. Good defensive work, Magpies, as in Castlemaine. Fist in there and puts it out of bounds. Snelly, one of those players we think may not see too much game time for Maryborough this season, South Australian. So, spending a bit of time up north and making the trip for today's game with a couple of others.
So the ball's thrown in, contested footy ground level. We'll have a whistle, we'll have a ball up. Getting involved with the footy there for Castlemaine. Ben McConaughey, they're 2 Good brothers, those players for the Magpies, for Castlemaine. Winning the ruck work was Collins for Maryborough, but it's a hurry kick. Castlemaine with a kick out of the pack that goes out of bounds on the full, and the free kick to Maryborough. And number 28 down there wanted a jumper change. Get back to you on that, but it's with Maryborough.
Zave Murley's wearing 28.
No, for Maryborough's 28.
Sorry, there you go.
Long kick out of the fence for Maryborough. It's a good pack mark from Russell. Myers came across the front of the pack. We saw him this time last year just try and jump on everyone's head. He's continued in that vein. Russell's kick to half forward. Sat up almost for Constable. Brought it down to himself. Nice bit of play to get onto his right boot. Out the back. He's got a runner on top of it. Castelia in toward goal. Gets it through. Welcome to Maryborough, Robert Castelia. First game for the Magpies, kicks their third, and they're out to a 10-point lead. 3 straight 18. Castlemaine 1-2-8. 12 minutes gone. Opening term. Score sponsor Jason Westcott Field, and Local Footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
And that's modern day footy, isn't it? You get out the back and you make the opposition hurt. Castlemaine all pushed up, no one behind the ball, no one anchoring that defence, and that's probably the easiest goal that they're going to get all day. Hopefully there'll be a change there. Someone will anchor that defence. As soon as it come over the back.
Hanging in for us. Borough as well. Changing in the ruck with Big Ty Stewart.
Good to see Seb Collins back. Had an ACL last year. He played his under-18 footy at Sandhurst and returning to play some senior footy at Maryborough.
He's a big lad. Won it on that occasion, but was swooped on there by Cal Huntley. Put it on the left. You put it in the path of Keogh. Keogh collects it. Then he fell over just at the last moment. Managed to give it off to Woodman. Woodman of Castlemaine puts it to the top of the square. And Huntley providing a target down there again. Getting dangerous when they get it to him. And he's directly in front, only 25 metres, and should slot it.
He should. They're right. If he doesn't, then it'll...
Yeah, you sound uncertain, Don.
No, well, he said like last week that he was a bit nervous about his goal kicking. It's something that he needed, but that's just absolutely sweet off the boot.
Directly in front, he pops it through for the Castlemaine Magpies. It's their second. They've peppered a little bit, but they'll go to 2-2-14. They trail 3 goals straight, 18. Score sponsor Parsons Towing in Castlemaine. Local Footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Both teams red hot around the ball, but that loose ball, Maryborough just seemed to be finding the player on the outside where Castlemaine can't. And I mentioned that at the start of the game. Lots of bulls in the team, and they need to start to have a look at holding their space and pushing away and spreading when Castlemaine have the ball.
There's lots to like about the way that both teams are going about it early. John Peterson, John Hunter, Don Moran with you at Camp Reserve, round 1 in Bendigo footy. It's Cal McConaughey latches onto Joel Swadden, 2 tough operators, the pair of them. I reckon 28's Ethan Hurst, Lucas Hurst, by the way, for Maryborough, just to cover off that one.
Which is down to number 16. So.
Yeah, from the restart, there's a bloke out there in the 2s wearing his number, which is a bit stiff. Long kick inside from Huntley, taken by Myers, shares it with Lanfranchi, got it back, clever kick around the corner. He's put his teammate under trouble though inside the defensive 50. Well worked out from Alex Brown. And Maryborough can bounce this off half-back, kick down the line, almost fell into the lap of Watson for Castlemaine. The main back in possession. Wanted a free kick there, thought Luke Dunn got a hold of the jumper. Maryborough send it forward now. Long kick inside the forward 50. Terrific defensive mark from Liam Wilkinson. Standing up tall down back, clutches it in and sends it across the back 50 for the main. Collects the footy. Then he kicks it on the left and finds Henderson on the true centre wing. Henderson handball inside to Keogh. Keogh short pass. It was a good build-up. It was a poor kick. Intercept by Maryborough. Bring it back through the other way. Perry receives a handball and he thumps it long, looking for Russell, who's been prominent up forward. But the ball again spills out toward Castlemaine through Hickey. Series of handballs. Ends up with Watson. Over the top. Intercept with That goes over the boundary line. True centre wing. Jingle Street wide outside the Camp Reserve. In fact, it's going to be a Castlemaine free kick, and it'll go to Tyson Hickey. So Hickey sends it long down that Jingle Street side. Really nicely timed interchange there for Maryborough, streaming back into the field. A play. Now the kick up toward Constable, who attacks it like his life depends on it. He's dragged down in the end. Defensive work from the Magpies of Castlemaine. Henderson's handball flicked it on to Ashton Keogh. Early bounces off the tackle, centre wing on the broadcast side. Centering kick to Watson's a clever run. Runs through the point of the square. Sends it inside the 50. Terrific link-up play. And a lead charging out from full forward. Taking the mark is Brad Keogh. He's got a shot 45 from home, but he's directly in front.
Fairly frenetic early, isn't it? And it'll settle as the game progresses, but that was probably their best play, to be honest. Zave Murley looking inside the corridor, finding John Watson, and then a great hit to Brad Keogh, which looks like he just hasn't finished it off.
Pushes the kick wide, kicked 14 goals from 15 senior games last year. Keogh can't convert there, but narrows that gap back to 3 points. 2-3, plays Maryborough 3 straight. Just over halfway gone in this opening term.
Kick comes out long in the direction of Ty Stewart, off the hands. Perry getting involved, handball went to nobody. Offering support will be Humphrey of Maryborough. He's tackled left half forward for the Castlemaine Magpies. We'll have a ball up. Still conditions, really beautiful autumn day.
It's beautiful, but it's trying.
Yeah, well, you can have both, can't you? We're trying if you're a player. It's pretty easy when you're sitting up here, Joel. As Maryborough kick out there, which is smart. Castlemaine would put his hands on the footy. They're going to get a free kick. Pressure was on. Henderson gets the free kick. And a good strong lead. Hits up Hartley, chest lead. Then he swings it wide. He's got to play a break for him in Darby Simmons, who takes the chest mark. And he'll be at 40. Not much of an angle.
Haven't seen Darby kick for a while, so coming back to Castlemaine. He's always had great skills. We just, the distance might have him here. See how he goes.
Nothing wrong with his endeavour, Darby Simmons.
No, he's great.
Good addition to the Castlemaine Magpies.
Great pickup.
He will kick it at 48 when it leaves his boot. It's long, it's high, it's going to make the distance easy. He could have took another 10 metres, he could have kicked it from 60, hence the hitting the ball sweetly. What do we know there, Don?
I haven't seen him for a long time. He's been out of Harcourt, so he's definitely shown me his improvement and his growth. That was a beautiful kick.
3-3-21 Castlemaine. They lead 3 goals straight, 18 Maryborough. Score sponsor Parsons Towing in Castlemaine. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Of course, 2-time premiership player out there at Harcourt. Darby Simmons, part of the Apple Leaders continuing dynasty. Cheerio to our good friend Norm Jenkin, who's not with us this afternoon. I'm sure Normie will have the radio on out of the orchard. Johnny,
Up a tree and doing something with the Fugees.
beautiful day for picking Fugees. And I mean, we joke because it's Norm, that he'd be picking apples, but he actually is. That's the best part.
Hey, Woody!
Long kick inside forward 50 from Edwards for Maryborough. Brown on Byrne had a couple of goes at it, spilled to Russell, dragged into the mess and clutched to the chest of Sutherland as he's brought down in the tackle for the main. And we'll have a ball up inside forward 50 for Maryborough, trailing by 3 points. Entertaining opening term. Quick kick out of the stoppage. Poked forward by Mitch McClure across the face of goal. Castelia has a play at it. Tries to shove Wilkinson out of the way. And in front of the scoreboard in the left forward pocket in Maryborogh's attacking end, we will have a ball in.
Could that have made it look any harder? Just that little defensive play.
It's
It
trying.
ended up going out, but crikey's.
It's trying, but beautiful, Don. You can quote me on that throughout the season. The ball's thrown in. Ty Stewart taps it to the back of the pack, but Jackson Hood getting involved. Nice little handball to Slingo. Slingo further afield to Simmons, who's in the back zone now. Well, dangerous kick, and he's coughed it up. He's kicked it straight to the opposition. It come off the instep, and it was McClure that said, "Thank you very much. I'm going to swallow that, and I'm going to have a shot at goal." So, just a bit of an error coming out of the back line there, Don.
Yeah, coming inside early under pressure.
As soon as he hit the boot, you can tell, didn't it?
Yeah, well, we just wrapped him up for his set shot, and then his field kick, he's just turned it over in one of the most crucial parts of the ground.
Sweet hit of the footy by McClure. It faded late and just missed for a minor score. Their first blemish of the afternoon, 3-1-20. Geez, that scoreboard's hard to read there, Joel, with the talk about the sun. It's in fact 3-1-19, the 3-3-21 Castlemaine lead.
It's a 2-point lead to the main. Watson plays on from fullback. Just outside the defensive 50. Thought there might have been a whistle, but Wilkinson kept it in. Long kick down the line for the main. He's accepted by Hartley on a searching, marauding lead out from centre half forward. Pops it over the top to Murley, who's got speed to burn. 55 out, kicks to full forward, creating some space and doing well was Greaves. Goes to ground, top of the goal square for the main. And Maryborough have numbers around it. Brown had a bit of a fumble, and Frankie desperate in defence. He knows that position all too well. And now he's on the end of the handball. Left foot kicks, an absolute shocker. Bounces its way out to John Watson. He's got some space at half forward for the main. Pops the handball over the top. Might get it back here, Watson. He does.
It was Simmons getting involved again, so he's doing a lot of running inside forward 50. It's a little bit sloppy by Castlemaine. They're going to cough it up. So Maryborough are a clearing kick. There's a player breaking, and they'll look for Edwards. Keeps it in. Long ball. Stewart's the target. Goes over the back. Hood manages to grab it. Then he kicks it out of bounds on the full. It dropped towards his feet. It was accidental. And Ty Stewart doesn't realise he's got a free kick, I don't think. There's somebody trying to pinch that. The good old-fashioned should be Ty Stewart's kick, and it is for Maryborough, who is deep in the pocket, forward pocket, only 35 out.
So two defensive acts that you'll be just horrified as coach. Horrified.
Defensive error, acts that were errors. Yeah. Stewart doesn't know where to go. Now he goes goalward, bangs it on the boot, and he should have did that in the first instance because he popped it through. He wasn't confident, and I don't know why. So they take the lead back now. Maryborough, they'll go to 4-1-25, leading Castlemaine 3-3-21. Score sponsor, Bendigo City Framers. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Castlemaine look like they're pushing up with their press, but probably a little bit too far up the ground. That every goal that Maryborough's kicked has been getting out the back, and that's exactly the same that's happened then. And I mentioned the defensive error, but the game should have stopped. But that's basically, here we go. Maryborough got a kick from the centre of the ground.
So Collins is going to take it for Maryborough. Not quite sure what it was for. He whacks it long inside forward 50. Castilli is the target. Almost gets out the back for Constable again, who's diving on top of the footy. His endeavours really something to be remarked at. He gives away the free kick that time for hatching it. Wilkinson's rewarded inside defensive 50 for Castlemaine. So 4-point lead to Maryborough. 3 lead changes in this opening term. Joel Peterson, John Hunter, Don Moran with you. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Bendigo footy is back for season 2024. Magpies with it through Sutherland. This was one of the big improvers for them this season, Castlemaine. Wilkinson now outside the defensive 50. Some nice link up. Here's Declan Slingo.
Slingo, did you say hatchet? I used to love saying it. Don't hatchet at school. That was very good, Joel. Very descriptive. Up on the wing, the Frank Byrne wing, which is the Creek side. Castlemaine, they look a bit nervous now when they get the footy. I think those couple of errors, Don, might have just spooked them a little bit. Ball, it's into the middle. Big bounce on a hard centre. Who'll come out of it? Nobody. It's all tied up. Umpires doing a good job letting it go. In amongst it was Humphrey. It's Ash for Maryborough. And now we'll have a ball up.
I reckon I'd have a bat out there, just quietly.
You would?
Just based off that particular ball flight.
Umpire throws it up. It's a bit of volleyball going on. Ends up with Slingo. Tries to make a path. In fact, it was Hickey getting involved. Ball spills to half forward. It's Willing. Brown Kerr sweeps on the footy. The big ruckman, he'll put it inside forward 50. Bouncing, looking for Hartley. It'll be Maryborough, they'll rebound. Short pass. And hits up Joel. In fact, it's a Reed on the outer side.
Nice work from that Frankie again in defence for Maryborough. So Kobe Reed's got it. Oh, massive fly from Brown Kerr. He thought he was playing in round 2 and he flew this week. That's how early he was.
Didn't get anywhere there.
Now he'll be sending people Christmas cards next week. Seb Collins takes the free kick, just defensive side of the wing, launches it up toward half forward. That was a slightly better time jump, if a little less athletic from Liam Wilkinson, but he did enough to spoil it over the boundary line. It'll be tossed back in. 60 metres out from the Maryborough goal, left half forward. It is Maryborough 4-1, the main 3-3. Really entertaining opening term. We're about 25 minutes through it.
They've got a game on their hand, Castlemaine here. Maryborough have come to play. Brown Kerr getting involved, but it's Maryborough who win the footy through Humphrey. Little give over the top, fumbling footy now. It's in the mix with Murley. Murley, he's probably had prior then, and that's a good decision. I reckon he just ran straight at the player, and you can't do it. He got away with it a few times last year for goal of the square, but it's now Maryborough who's got the free kick just beyond 50. Looking to capitalise on their lead. They lead by 4 points. Long kick inside. Wilkinson, he was held back from the footy, and Liam Wilkins for the Magpies. He'll spread it wide to Woodman, and the Magpies through Castlemaine are out.
So Woodman just assesses his options at half-back, then toes the kick down the line, looking for Burley. In fact, it's Wixon who had it and lost it. Tackle Stewart, who was giving away a couple of weight classes there on his chest. Ball spills down to Kobe Reid. He can't keep it in either, and a throw in from right in front of us, so I'll keep it. Thanks, Johnny. 4-1-25 to 3-3-21. What have we played in this opening term? Glare on that scoreboard making it a little bit difficult. We're 26 minutes through this opening term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Great to have you with us on the opening day of the BFNL season. Edwards is dragged down in the tackle for Maryborough. Brown Curve slapped it out of there for Castlemaine. Swatton, handball off to Britton. Maryborough inside forward 50. Oh, Byrne and Wilkinson spoiled each other. Spilled to Constable, who rammed it into the post. He smacked it into the left-hand upright. And it's only a minor score to Maryborough. They lead by 5, 27 played opening term.
Cal Huntley, geez, they played on quickly there. Castlemaine looking for Henderson, who got pushed under the footy. He's been relatively quiet. Did well. Frankie. And it's
that's what I'm going with anyway.
Good vantage point, you said, Joel, from this truck here, which thanks to our sponsor Hardcore Care Insider, making a little red apple for supplying us with this truck, because the ball's right in front of us. We've got prime position. Woodman wins the tap for Castlemaine. Then he follows up his own footy and taps it towards the boundary line. Sutherland getting involved for Castlemaine. And we'll have a ball in. I could reach out and touch this, Joel. I'm going to give it to you.
You're so generous. You're so that's why I was looking forward to coming to the footy today.
You're so sincere.
Because I knew if the ball was thrown back in right in front of us that you'd hand it over. Others like the one Jock Clark wouldn't have done that. Cheerio, Jock. Jock will be listening this afternoon, I would imagine. Ball tossed back in. Swatton can't get rid of it. Right on half forward here for Maryborough, who lead by 5 points late in this opening term. Been a terrific contest so far between the two Magpies teams. Of course, when these teams met last year, it was a 3-point lead to Castlemaine at quarter time. Henderson takes it off the stoppage, shreds the tackle from Swatton, hands it off to Cal McDonaghy. Long kick down the line for the main. Crashing the back, coming in from the back was Brad Keogh. Spilled back toward Reid, head over it from Perry. And then just a rugby scrum to find the touchline on the broadcast side wing. And it'll be tossed back in. Still that 5-point Maryborough lead, 28 gone opening term at Camp Reserve.
What's going on with Kobe Reid's hair too? It just looks a bit unusual.
Check that out, yeah. I'll get the binoculars on it.
Like the little girl in Brady Bunch. Yeah, she used to have it up in knots. As Kobe Perry wins it there for Maryborough. He sent it to 50. He didn't look and he kicked it straight to the opposition. Turnover, Brody Byrne. He's got Wilkinson spreading for him. Honours it. Who's got it on right half-back.
It's sort of a bit of a ringlet situation, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very unusual. John Watson getting on the end of a footy, and then he bangs it along the boundary line. Good strong mark it is now. Greaves getting involved for the first time and hits up Hartley, hard up against the boundary line, right in front of the club rooms at the Camp Reserve. Inboard he comes. It's a bullet ball. It was probably too severe for everybody. Causes a turnover in a contest. Swooping on the footy now will be Hurst, and a whistle on play. So he paid that for it. In fact, it'll be a ball up deep inside forward 50, well, shallow inside forward 50, in fact, for Castlemaine, Joel.
So the reason he paid that, Johnny, was because neither side came away with it, so that's why it was a ball. Huntley off the tag. Why has he paid that? Because Callan Huntley dropped it in fact, no, he was grabbed without it. So there you go, I don't have any idea why they're paying it either. Huntley, we know he's got a boot on him. He's about, 70 out here. He launches it inside the forward 50. Hartley will get a run and a jump at it. 2 hands to it, but couldn't bring it in. Perry's there for Maryborough inside the defensive 50. Hacks the kick outside the back arc. Going to have a free kick here. This one's going to the visiting team, the Maryborough Magpies. And it'll be Ash Humphrey to take it across half-back. Still the visitors by 5. Almost half an hour gone in this ball game.
The Frank Byrne wing. The ball will come down. Creek side here at the camp was siren sounds for quarter time. A very competitive game of football. Maryborough lead 4-2-26 to Castlemaine 3-3-21.
Great start here at the Camp Reserve. Round 1 in Bendigo footy. You couldn't ask for any better. It's been fast. It has been attacking. It's been really, really good fun. A competitive game between the two Magpies teams, and it is Maryborough by 5 at the end of 1. Plenty more to come here from Cramp Reserve. Glorious day for footy on Good Friday. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Fresh FM Bendigo. We play live local sport.
Love the local sports coverage.
Our music is hand-picked by you.
Songs that you haven't heard for ages.
We keep you in touch with local events.
Always telling you what's happening around the place.
If it's on your mind, it's on our playlist. Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Steve Barty Gas is your local supplier of household, LPG cylinders, forklift, industrial and hospitality gases. They refill or exchange barbecue and camping cylinders and have a range of lubricants and greases. Steve Barty is a local bloke and has serviced Castlemaine and surrounding districts for over 40 years. For great service and competitive prices, contact Fresh sponsor Steve and the team on 5472 1262 or info@stevebartygas.com.au.
Local first Fresh sponsor Jason Westcott Builder, where your dreams become a reality. Whether it's crafting bespoke 5-bedroom homes or breathing new life into cherished spaces with renovations and extensions, they're there for you every step of the way. With a dedicated team and a commitment to exceeding your expectations, Jason Westcott Builder is your partner in creating the home you've always envisioned. Visit them online with their galleries and begin your journey at Jason Westcott Builder.
The Locksmith Store offers all your security solutions in the one place, specialising in all your automotive needs, digital locks, safe sales and on-site servicing, repairs and installation. Fresh FM sponsor The Locksmith Store installs locks for both commercial and residential clients, listens to the client's needs and delivers expert advice. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency service 7 days a week. The Locksmith Store, 428 Hargrave Street, Bendigo, right on the roundabout. Safe, secure and service guaranteed.
Fresh sponsor Parsons Towing Castlemaine is a 24/7 towing service covering all your towing needs, from accidents to breakdowns. Parsons Towing can handle anything from cars, trucks, buses, machinery, containers, even motorcycles. Parsons Towing is a family-owned business that understands the importance of prompt, professional service. Parsons Towing has now joined the team at Bellevue Panels in Bendigo, covering a larger area. To get you back on track anytime, anywhere, parsonsmotorbody.com.au.
You can do it at City Framers. You can do it by capturing your glory days, capturing moments and creating unique memories for teams or individuals. You can do it by remembering this year in sport. You can do it with a framed jumper, ball, bat, or design a poster as a club trophy or glory days keepsake. Fresh sponsor Bendigo City Framers proudly support Bendigo football in 24. As a matter of fact, you can do it now.
Local first fresh business sponsor. JB Restumping aims to produce high-quality restumping throughout Victoria. JB Restumping specialises in house restumping, levelling, foundation problems and bouncing floors. If you have a house that is cracking, or a house that may have leaning walls, or a house that has doors that won't close with uneven floors, go to jbrestumping.com. JB Restumping, 30 years experience and your foundation experts. Returning for more live footy, Footy Fresh is Bendigo Footy Live.
Quarter time at Camp Reserve. Great to have your company. The opening round in the Bendigo Football Netball League season. And it is a 5-point lead to Maryborough at quarter time. 4-2-26 to Castlemaine. 3-3-21. Joel Peterson, John Hunter, Don Moran with you. Great to have you with us on 101.5 throughout Central Victoria or streaming wherever you are right around the world. It is a glorious day for football here. Some might say trying conditions, others might say you couldn't ask for any better. Goal kickers in that opening term for Maryborough. A goal on debut for Robert Castilia. A goal to Seb Collins from well outside 50. Fraser Russell kicked there first, and Ty Stewart with a nice finish from the left forward pocket at the broadcast end of the ground. For Castlemaine, Michael Hartley kicked the first goal of this young season. He added a second later in the opening term, and Darby Simmons finished well from about 45 metres out for the main as well. That's where their 3 goals came from. Maryborough have a 5-point lead at quarter time. Don, who's impressed you so far?
from Maryborough, like the whole team's impressed me. In the pre-match, they're talking about that they believe that they're in really good nick, and they've definitely shown that when they've got out the back and had some open space, the ability to run. They've been a lot cleaner as well. So that 5-point lead is deserving. Castlemaine a bit fumbly, haven't capitalised. Still trying to iron out where and what their game style is, to be honest with you. Whereas Maryborough is frenetic. As soon as they get it, they go and go forward. So Castlemaine messing around a little bit and missing those fundamentals, which hurt on this ground.
That does, and some of those mistakes you mentioned there, John. But Castlemaine, Liam Wilkinson's really strong across half-back. Michael Hartley offering a target particularly early. Cal Huntley just keeps on getting the footy. He's come back to stepped into Bendigo football really well. I thought Darby Simmons in places did make a bad error and caused a turnover that resulted in a goal. But geez, there's a lot of names missing that one would have thought they would have come out firing. So I was speaking to guys like Bailey Henderson in particular, that Ethan Hine was really good last week, and save early, they've all been pretty quiet. McConaughey's in places, maybe they've been alright.
It's hard to judge when you've got the two bottom sides from last year who won a combined 2 games between them. But what have you made of the standard in this game so far, Doc?
Well, it always heats on, other than the weather, heats on always at the start of the season. Everyone's ready to go right for the picking, strong, physical, and those fumbles will always be there. But you can see both teams want to do well, and they're really attacking the footy, which is the pressure's there. So the ball hits the deck, the tackles are there. It didn't really slow up. So maybe this quarter we might see. And there's a time where Maryborough got a bit of a stranglehold, and Castlemaine still wanted to go. So just the tempo. Just pull back the tempo a little bit. It'll be interesting to see whether they made some changes with that. Had a bit of a chat. I think Castlemaine only changed directions a couple of times a year and nearly got success with it before.
So just looking to open up that ground a little bit more this season. In 2024, Castlemaine, they turn here with a quarter-time 5-point deficit. Opening stoppage of this second term, and Woodman takes it. Moves it forward to Huntley for the main. Entering kick is deep toward Hartley, who always had position, and pulls it in at the top of the goal square. He's looking for number 3 and should have no trouble from here.
You're going to hear a lot of that, Huntley to Hartley, and that was evidence of some open, clean footy.
So the new coach, he's made a really bright start in his new colours. Michael Hartley looking the goods in the black and white stripes. And Castlemaine hit the front. A 4th lead change in this game. 45 seconds into the second term. It's the main 4-3. Maryborough 4-2, thanks to score sponsor Parsons Towing Castlemaine. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
And I think, Joel, based at the corresponding game last year, even though it was a good contest, the standard is a lot higher than what it was last year. That's what is probably sticking out to me, I would say. Movement of the footy was just, of course, Huntley getting involved, a super player, but that passage of play there is what they think that their trademark should be. Greaves, I've noticed for VFL, he had a big pre-season, hasn't even touched it. Well, he touched it once, so there's a lot of improvement to come, but it will spill out to Darby Simmons and Castlemaine. Jingle Street side handball, the Henderson receives. He runs straight to tackle. Now he'll bang it long inside forward 50. Poor kick, turnover. You don't see that very often. He kicked it straight to the Maryborough player, and it was Snelling that took them up.
So the South Australian stood in the road on that occasion. Ball spills out now toward Edwards. For Maryborough, long kick down the outer side wing. Running into all kinds of trouble there was done. Got sandwiched by a couple of Castlemaine players. Ball out on the boundary line on the railway line side. And it's going to be a ball up just forward of centre for Maryborough, kicking toward the clubroom's end here in this second term. First blood of this second quarter going the way of the visitors. Ball is slapped straight back over the boundary line. So from the ball up, we'll have a throw in. Still out under those glorious trees. It really looks a picture the camp reserve this afternoon, Johnny. It's an absolute, it's come up really, really well.
I tell you, one of those trees fell at footy training. I was not far from it. That's a story for another day. But it will be Maryborough now. They're moving it nicely on the end of it. Handball with Luby. He goes inside forward 50. Poor kick. So we've had a couple of Luby.
Yep. Can't have been one of those trees, though.
To the, as we're looking at, this is not good radio, but to the right, Joel, as the ball is still in the forward zone from Maryborough, 45 metres out. You can see a couple of gaps starting to...
All right, you got 10 seconds. Tell me the story.
the story.
Yep.
There was a clap of thunder, lightning, bang, tree went straight down in the middle.
At footy training?
At footy training one night. Don Moran might have even been there that night, I'd imagine.
But how tall would those trees be? They're taller than the light poles. That gives you an indication of how tall they are.
You look at, just a history lesson, you look at some of the photos from the 1930s and 40s, those trees are there.
Yeah.
So we've got just a bit of a lull in play. It's another stoppage and we'll ball it up in the forward zone Maryborough attack to the club room's end.
Must be a lull in play. We don't usually talk about trees quite as much. Just Swat and jams it on the boot at the stoppage. Gets it to fall forward. Chasing after his constable, who's been really impressive in the opening stages for Maryborough. Spills out the back. He's almost on the end of it too, the youngster. Can't quite keep it. And he's one of that emerging Maryborough crop who's making their way through the competition. The likes of Tom Myers, Zach Caccini, Lucas Hurst, we know, Jai Howe. Of course, Taj Bond, the rising star winner, playing for the Pioneers today against the Murray Bushrangers over at Deacon Reserve in Shepparton. Slapped back toward the boundary line by Brodie Brown-Kerr. And it'll be tossed back in front of the club rooms.
We might have a little bit of a nervous Henderson on our hands. Bailey Henderson, a couple of uncharacteristic errors. I can't see how he would be because he's an experienced player, but he just seems to have muffed a couple of times.
Yeah, he has. It's quite uncanny, isn't he? He's very polished and is a really good user of the footy, but we witnessed that forward entry where he just blazed away. Hartley led up at him and he basically just kicked it to no man's land. So, yeah, very uncharacteristic.
Super player, so there's one way up for him as Brodie Brown-Kerr wins the tap. He tapped it straight to that man Henderson, who got it in the back zone, but they're going to cough it up. Or Maryborough now, they'll still go forward. Short pass, and they'll get a shot on goal again. And the man with the footy is Edwards, Bailey Edwards with the footy. He should kick it. He's been around a while. He's probably at the same distance as Darby Salmons was a little earlier, maybe a bit straighter. But there's no conditions out there that should affect the flight of the footy.
I thought they were trying conditions.
Trying, beautiful and still Jones. All of those things, but he didn't. Right on the goal line, I think it's a goal. Didn't make it by far, but it doesn't matter. It's made it. So Maryborough, they have got the lead here. It's 5-2-32. Great goal, Bailey Edwards. 4-3-27 Castlemaine. 5.5 minutes gone, second term. Score sponsor JB Restumping. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Just a jumper check. You said that was Edwards that took that shot. He was down for wearing 17. Is 23 is his jumper?
Yes, yep. So they had a couple of jumper swaps. Maryborough, Lucas Hurst wasn't in 16, he's in 28, and Edwards is in 23 as opposed to 17.
Yep.
Just with the couple of fly-ins, if you like, who weren't around for as much of the pre-season. Long kick inside forward 50 here for Castlemaine from the stoppage. That'll be a free kick against Hartley. He and Merley conspired to drag down Tommy Myers, the Simons medalist last season, best and fairest in the under-18 competition. Chips it short to Brown.
It looks like he's Stanley Hartley, so that's 30-year-old versus an 18-year-old, and so he's got an opportunity to learn, isn't he?
Big test for him. He's athletic as the day is long, though. He's Tom Myers.
It looks like he's not giving away much in height because Hartley's just under 2.
I stood next to him at the stage on Mickelson night last year, and he towered over me. Not particularly hard to do, but he's a big lump of a lad, he's Tom Myers, and he's got some real athleticism and go about him. Henderson might have got leaked at the stoppage, nothing for it, goes to ground, got the handball away, pitched by Swatton of Maryborough, into the path of Hurst, who busts a path through the middle of Camp Reserve and then kicks an inverse barrel, horrible looking thing to centre half forward. It works out beautiful for Constable, who ran it off the pack, popped it over the top, and Twycross slams through the open goal. Great play from Lucas Hurst, busting it open in the middle. And Maryborough again 2 in a row and are out by a game high 11, 6-2-38. Castlemaine 4-3-27. Early stages second term. Score sponsor Parsons Towing Castlemaine. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Constable's been very lively, hasn't he? That's a couple of times where he's ran away and broke free. So I'm just having a look at who's standing here with the lineup. Have you binoculars, John, just to pick up who's standing?
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that as the ball's through the middle. Connicky tried to pick up the footy, but he couldn't. Maryborough winning possession of the footy through the middle at the moment. Brown getting involved with tackling though Castlemaine, and just Connicky. It's Callum. Didn't play last week in the practice game. Just niggling injury, but he's back today. A little bit quiet today. He goes and looks for Hartley, had a lot of it, couldn't get it. Picked up by Perry of Maryborough. He goes by hand. He feeds it nicely. As I'll move it up onto the wing. Target is done. Luke Dunn couldn't see it. And it goes over the boundary line. It's right in front of the timekeeper's box. We'll have a ball in. 27 playing. 38. We've gone 8 minutes. Second term footy. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Hickey, who's got the job on Constable. On kick from Brown here for Maryborough from the stoppage, and that's a pretty assured mark from Sutherland back there, the lefty, who swings onto that boot now and sends it across the defensive 50 to Byrne. Lovely bit of play from the Magpies. Can they link up through Greaves? Got hands to it, couldn't take the mark. Running onto it is Murley. We know he's got some pace. He left the door open for Ben McConaughey, who kicks to the forward pocket. Hartley upstairs, can't drag it in. Spills back to him almost. And Myers was there on the last line, found his coach in Perry from Maryborough. Over the top to McClure, copped one high. Umpire says play on. Humphrey off half-back, lovely kick. Puts into the path of Swat, and that was well worked out from the visitors.
The veteran. It's got origins from South Bendigo, but been with Maryborough for a few seasons now. Goes into the middle, but it's Slingo that wins it for Castlemaine. By hand to Wilkinson. Further field to Watson. Watson lets it bounce and then collects. It's a bit of an errant handball. He makes Byrne work for it. They're going to cough it up here, and they'll rebound here. Maryborough, it'll be Reese. Reese follows up his own ball. It's a poor kick, handball over the top. There they go through Castilla. Castilla goes now, and it's a long bit ball by Hurst into forward 50. Still at 50. Maryborough long shotted goal. It's Constable who puts it goal with drop mark right on the goal face. Castlemaine will be able to recover. Woodman over the top to Hood. Needs to be careful. He's tackled, almost tripped, and kicks it beyond 50, looking behind, bouncing footy.
Yeah, it's going to be a free kick in the marking contest. Might go to Brown to Byrne for some front-on contact, I'd suggest. Gee, Luby, right on that behind line, should have dragged it in. Experienced player, probably expected to do better on that occasion. Byrne's kick was smothered on the way through, spills to Edwards. He tries to break clear in the pack and can't. And we'll have a ball up attacking side of centre. As far as Maryborough is concerned, they lead by 11 points, 6-2 to 4-3. 10.5 gone second term here at Camp Reserve. Joel Peterson, John Hunter, Don Moran with you. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo off the pack. Swatting to Brown for Maryborough. Inside forward 50. And a really clean grab. He's plucked out of the air by Twycross. Great hands. He's got it 40 out directly in front.
The defence is a little bit shaky, isn't it? The amount of times that Maryborough just continue to rebound and crumb and clean up. Castlemane's just, they're cooking their forward opportunities, and Maryborough capitalising on it and finishing it off beautifully. So
Sandhurst Jr., Jay Twycross spent a bit of time at Nightcliff and at Wodonga Raiders in the O&M. He straightens up here and keeps his second. So a good finish. Twycross has got the last two for Maryborough, who have got the last three in the ball game and have opened up a game-high 17-point lead. 7-2-44 Maryborough, playing the main 4-3-27. We've played 13 minutes here in this second term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Score sponsor JB Restumping.
it hasn't settled, has it?
It hasn't settled, and don't listen to all the hype, Don. What I'd say to Castlemaine, there's a lot of passengers, a lot of blokes sitting back watching the footy go by, and there is danger signs Will Robinson style here, because they'll win it through the middle again. Maryborough, they're just pumping it forward through Edwards. It'll go right to the teeth of goal, front and centre. A lot of players around the footy. Castlemaine will kill it, and they had to, because they were under extreme pressure. Castlemaine now 4-3-27, Maryborough 7-3-45. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
12 minutes through the second term. Correction on that brilliant read from there of the scoreboard. Ball along the boundary line, and it's walked across in the end by Josh Britton.
In fairness, it's a bit hard to read, Joel. There's a blazing sun on it.
Yeah, it's and the red writing on the black background with the glare of the sun is a bit of a challenge, but we'll do our best to keep you abreast of the time and score situation this afternoon. Great to have Bendigo footy back here at Camp Reserve. Nice crowd in as well. Round one between these two sides, and it's been entertaining as Swanton is grabbed, dragged down and punished in the tackle by Ashton Keogh. Great bit of pressure. on one of the league's best pressure players. Keogh's kicks centrally. Hurst runs it down. Got a hand in there. Taken by Bailey Edwards of Maryborough, who's galloping through the middle of Camp Reserve. Offloads to Collins. Collins kick inside forward 50. How does it bounce for Byrne? Awkwardly. Constable dragged into the turf. Big pack around the footy centre half forward for Maryborough. They continue just to fly on in there, these two teams. And it is locked up 60 out from the Maryborough goal. What is a really, really hot contest.
Bailey Edwards is killing it at the moment. He's just on fire for Maryborough, and they have good possession of the footy in their forward zone, but a lot of players around the footy. It's all tied up. Directly in front to the club room's end here at the Camp Reserve. Ty Stewart will do the ruck work against Brown Kerr. Brown Kerr probably won it. He tapped it to McClure of the opposition of Maryborough, and then they all jumped on top of him. We'll have another secondary ball up directly in front. Shaking your head, Don.
Oh, it's just so... I know it's early days in the competition, first round, but it's just so fumbly on Castlemaine's behalf. Maryborough, it's so much cleaner. You know, the tackle pressures there, ball spills. Maryborough seems to just want the footy more. They pick it up, clean it up, and use it. Castlemaine's just, every time they get a tackle, or get tackled, they just cough it up.
Stewart getting involved in the ruck work again. He's been prominent. A lot of players around the footy again. Now they have a ball up inside forward 50. I'll have another go at it and see if we can get it out of there. Put your head over it. Hatchett, Stewart, Brown Kerr, no clear winner. Swatton's in there as he always is. A lot of players around it again. Stewart, the big man, just bustles his way on hands and knees. Whistle on play. Moved about half a metre directly in front. Club room's in. Castlemaine trail 27 to 45. Maryborough looking good at the moment. Second term.
So Collins puts his headband on for the third contest in a row after he lost it in the tackle. Constable off the pack for Maryborough. Handball clear. They'll work it out here, Castlemaine. Hine got it from Will Moran. Kick down the line's a good one. Finds Hartley, centre wing. Hands it off to the run of Huntley. Cal Huntley on the burst. Long kick inside forward 50. Over the back for Greaves. Can he win the race? Back there, it bounces, it bounces. And it is thumped through by Aidan Medlin for Maryborough for only a behind. So that score breaks the run of 3 consecutive goals for Maryborough. 4-4-28 Castlemaine, 7-3-45 to the visitors. We're 15 and a half minutes through the second term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Good defensive play, Maryborough, to kill that ball, wasn't it? It was a one-on-one contest, and they came good.
Well, you've got to line the ball, and Reeves didn't line the ball. So
Myers.
Pretty tough to win the foot if you don't line it.
No. Working it down the creek side, the Frankie Byrne wing. Perry has got the footy. Defensive side. Short pass, directs traffic, asks Edwards to come at him, and he does. It takes a chest mark. Outer side wing. The mattresses against the stumps. You don't see that very often in Bendigo footy as well. You only see it at the Camp Reserve. Jackson Hood in the middle of it as the ball is contested. Ty Stewart gives it by hand. A little gift to Humphrey. Can't get clear. 70 out from Maryborough goal, ball up.
Have you ever seen it anywhere else?
No.
Ever seen a ground that has that? I haven't.
No.
I think it might be unique, not just to Bendigo footy, but to country footy maybe, to have the mattresses over the tree trunks.
They were doing that when I was playing, so that's, 40 years ago.
I thought they had invented trees by then. Perry off the pack here for Maryborough, kicks it inside forward 50. Constable with a big fly, can't drag it in, spills to ground level. Great tackle on Twycross. He's in all kinds of trouble. And a free kick will go to the way of the main defence. Inside the back 50. Wilkinson, again the beneficiary of some good work. Desperately on the last line, but they've required every bit of it so far, Castlemaine. They've been under siege back there. Kick to Huntley wasn't 15. He pops it over the top. Handball, set Watson a task. He's dragged down. Ball back in the hands of Maryborough. Hine had it, lost it, dragged off it by Hurst. Right forward pocket for the visitors. Swatton slides in. He can't keep it in. And a ball in 30 around from the Maryborough goal. Right forward pocket. It is the visitors by 17 points. We've played 17 through the second term here at Camp Reserve.
It subdued that crowd underneath the veranda there. They might be a little bit stunned because they're all Castlemaine supporters over there. Now at ground level again. Maryborough attack. Nobody's going to win that footy. Geez, if we had a stoppage count inside forward 50 for Maryborough in this term, it'd be up there. We're about 35 out from goal. Umpire throws it up in the air. Collins was doing the ruck work. Hurried shot at goal. and it's a minor score Maryborough's way. So they increase their lead by a minor, 7-4-46, 4-4-28 Castlemaine, 18 gone. Second term, local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Back out to that game high margin of 18 points. Of course, you cast your mind back to that round 10 game here last year. Maryborough led by 13 points at three-quarter time, and Castlemaine rolled over the top, 3 goals to Ben Moran in that one. Brody Byrne inspired them off half-back. Great running goal at one stage. Got them across the line. Hartley presents on the wing here from the defensive 50 chain, but can't pull it in, and we'll have a throw-in. True centre wing on the Barkers Creek side. Under the shade of those ancient trees. What type of trees are they, do you know? Are they elm trees? Are they oak trees?
I know there's a lot of acorns around in autumn time, so I reckon they might be acorn trees, whatever they are.
Trees? Yeah, we'll go with that.
We'll go with acorn trees.
Surely someone out there give us a bit of a hand on that. I don't think an acorn tree even exists.
It's an oak tree, lads.
Down the line, clearly not arborists, the two of us. Hartley, handball infield. Cal McConaughey slipped the tackle of Perry, dribbled it inside the forward 50 for the main. Coming out to meet it was Rickson. Burley was clever not to give away the free kick with the first tackle, almost won it with the second. Now he puts his head over it, he gets chucked on top of the pack. And it's going to be a ball up inside forward 50 here for the main, who are pressing for their 5th goal of the ball game.
Did you swear at me then before? No, arborist, is that a swear? Inside forward 50, Hartley wins it, puts it in the direction by a hand to Greaves, who's hard up against the boundary line underneath that scoreboard that is just copying the sun. I can just read it being 28 to 46 Maryborough's way. We're approaching half-time here at the Camp Reserve. Maryborough, very impressive. Castlemaine, well, they've got a bit of work to do. Another stoppage, Hartley leading the way, good tackling. Another ball up.
They just want to win the ball, don't they?
They do.
The desire around the ball is great. The spread's great. The cleaner.
As the ball is now contested, good strong tackling again. 40 out from goal against the boundary line.
I went looking for your Maryborough team sheet. I don't know where it's gone. It's blown off the table and it's disappeared.
In front of me.
What about the Castlemaine one?
Oh, I don't need that, do I?
Oh, probably not.
Well, I may as well have it. There's a lot of Castlemaine players missing from it at the moment.
Yeah, very true. Ball tossed back in. 18-point lead to Maryborough. They're doing it nicely at the visiting Magpies. Free kick going to the main.
Is this Greaves' first touch?
He's got it at the moment. Looks like, is it Seb Collins who's down a bit sore? I can just see a mop of hair. It might be Snelling, actually. And they're calling for some... Cal Huntley's calling for some support from the trainers from literally the furthest point on the ground. Couldn't be any further away for the Volunteers to make their way across. But yeah, Snelling does look pretty sore out there at the moment, which isn't a good sign. Played a bit of footy at South Adelaide in the Sandford Reserves competition from the Lunga. A couple of trainers around it now. Kobe Perry goes over, as does Joel Swatton, just to inquire about the status of Snelling, who's been playing predominantly down back so far for Maryborough. There looks to be some real concern about Snelling here. One of the couple of players who has been plying his trade with Nightcliff in the Northern Territory Footy League recently. Played one game for them round 3 of last season for Maryborough, and I didn't expect a lot. They're actually calling for the stretcher here. So this doesn't look good for Snelling, who is up. He's sort of able to... He's lying on his back with his knees propped up and able to lift his head up off the ground, but clearly he's in a lot of discomfort and it doesn't feel as though he's in a position to walk off the ground, and neither do the trainers. So a halt's in play. 7-4-46 Maryborough, 4-4-28 in this ball game. 22 minutes played in this second term. Joel Peterson, John Hunter, Don Moran with you. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Great to have you with us on this Good Friday, round 1 of the 2024 BFNL season. Earlier today, Castlemaine by 7 points in an absolute belter of an under-18 game over Maryborough, who were finalists last year. Made it 2 weeks into the final series last year, the Maryborough under-18s. And in the reserves, a big win, an 88-point win to Castlemaine, 15-11, 101 to Maryborough, 2-1-13. What are you seeing out there at the moment, Don?
Yeah, it's interesting. It looks it must be a head injury because he must be concussed, I'd say. He keeps holding his head. His legs look okay because they're bent. Whether it's a shoulder, but to me he keeps holding his head. So whether that's in disappointment or whether he's actually just got to his feet.
Collins or Snelling is the only question, Johnny.
I think it's Snelling.
Me too, for what it's worth.
Geez, you come in just for a game, a leisurely game of footy, come back home at Maryborough and you get something there.
Maybe it's the left shoulder.
Yeah, he's holding.
So he's got that left shoulder in the jumper as a sling at the moment.
Yep.
So not a good sign. It is Collins because Snelling's out here in front of us. So both players with the headbands on and the long blonde hair, but unfortunately for Seb Collins, who's coming off a serious knee injury, he might have a serious shoulder injury to go with it. So
heading straight to the rooms.
Yep, he's going to go straight to the other end of the ground.
Well, good news is he's up and he's on his feet. And bad news is it doesn't look great for the shoulder.
Clearly in a bit of discomfort, so...
Well, he's not going to go through the interchange, clearly, so his afternoon is done.
Yep,
Finished for the day.
So disappointing for Seb Collins, Sandhurst under-18 product, and Snelling takes up his position back out there on the field, which is positive for him. And meantime, we're going to get play underway again. It'll end up being a free kick to Greaves, so left half forward. He's about 55 from home for Castlemaine. They trail by 18 points, and we're 25 minutes through this second term.
There's hopes on this man Greaves. He's done nothing today. Absolutely. Well, he hasn't, has he?
No, I agree.
Absolutely nothing. Let's see what he does with this footy. Puts it to the goal square. Hartley's caught too deep. Spills to the front of the pack. Perry swoops on it for Maryborough. Oh, it's an up and under kick. It kind of goes nowhere. And Hood, he jumped high and early for Castlemaine, couldn't get his hands on it. McConaughey overruns the footy as the ball goes out of bounds. And it was Twycross getting involved for Maryborough, and we'll have a ball in 50 around from Castlemaine's goal.
Sure, the delivery to him's been all that crash shot just quietly. I think Hartley's marked everything that's gone in there that's been markable, and everything else has just kind of gone missing. A kick from Greaves was a bit of a, hey boys, catch that. Spinning top off the boot as Cal McConaughey walks that across the line. Very helpful to us pre-game. Cal McConaughey, Johnny, we said, you know, what are you and Ben wearing to be able to tell you apart? And he said, oh no, we've both got blue boots on.
But I'll be the one with the footy.
But I'll be the one with the footy. Yeah, thanks a lot, Cal. That's the aim for both of you. Nonetheless, he has had a bit of it early doors here. Wilkinson for the Magpies. Nice all from Castlemaine. Magpies not particularly helpful in this particular matchup. Kicks inside forward 50. Henderson looks frustrated out there after not getting paid the free kick in the marking contest, just looking around at any umpire he can find to plead his case. And we'll have a ball up right on the forward 50 for Castlemaine, who trailed by 18 points a long way into this second term.
Oh, fresh area by Bailey Henderson, who just tried and boot at it, 48 from goal. Dave Murley's a bit frustrated as well, and Ping jumped on the footy, didn't hit it out. Maryborough player just through Snelling, and Castlemaine get a free kick through Ashton Keogh. The man on the mark stands at 49. Keogh by hand to Huntley. Huntley kicks it from 60. It's a long high ball. Huntley has kicked a minor score. Jeez, he hit it nicely. Mustn't have missed by much. So Castlemaine, that would have been a lifter, and it wasn't. They go to 4-5-29. They trail 7-4-46. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
27th minute of this second term. Brown brings it back in for Maryborough. Upstairs goes Brown Kerr. Keogh had a play at the main, and nice tackle from Cal McConaughey, who is able to dispossess Edwards and wins a free kick for Castlemaine at right half forward, right in front of our broadcast position. What does McConaughey see? Looks long to fall forward. Greaves and Hartley both there. Hartley nudged Lanfranchi under it and pulls in the mark, arms outstretched above his head. 30 from home. He's looking for number 4.
He's certainly a focal point, isn't he? The work around it, not great though. As you mentioned, the ball going in, can't get excited about that, but he's made the best of his opportunities. There's 4 for the afternoon, 4.5, so that's
4 of 5 for Michael Hartley. Castlemaine have got 5-5-35, Maryborough 7-4-46. Score sponsor, Parsons Towing Castlemaine. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo, so he's got 4 straight, too, I think. So that set shot kicking hasn't been too much of a worry, which you'd be pleased with.
No, well, his comment was that he needed to work on it. He obviously has for the last couple of weeks. But, yeah, it's a little bit worrying, though, that he is the target, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of support around when there's an aerial ball come in. If Brad Keogh's down there, even Bailey Henderson, all leading up wanting to win the footy, why don't you go and stand next to him?
Brown Kerr wins it. Edwards, look at him go. He just overran the footy, but they've got numbers on the end of a handball. Got a bit of work through Twycross. He puts it inside forward 50, but a good strong mark. Liam Wilkinson for Castlemaine. He's a rock back there. Short pass over the top. Huntley receives. Huntley runs. Now he kicks it long from half back to half forward. Kicks it to a contest. To the back of the pack. They've got numbers. Hartley's running. He's by himself. Just Slingo now. Don't over him. He's got time and space. 49. 1-on-1. Hartley uses the body. Yay! And an opportunity loss. It was a good bit of defensive work. It wasn't in the end. So minor score 5, 6:36, 7-4, 46. Castlemaine trail, 29 minutes ticked over. Second term. Gee whiz, well, Joel, that was an opportunity they should have taken.
Absolutely. It'll be a long second quarter as well. We had a 3 or 4 minute stoppage a couple of moments ago as Collins made his way off the ground. Ball off the pack from the kick in, and it'll be out for a throw in left half forward for Castlemaine. Barker's Creek side of the ground, around 60 out from the main goal. Tossed back into play. Stewart positions himself nicely on Brown Kerr. Busting through the pack was Edwards for Maryborough. Couldn't take it with him. Well done from Twycross, spinning out of the traffic. Hurst was trying to do the same. He pushed over Cal McConaughey though in the process. And the latter will take the free kick for the main. Looks to outlet toward Huntley. Had support there in Ben McConaughey. Huntley's high kick to the pocket. Hartley in the right spot. Greaves almost came over the top and did in the end. Spoiled his own teammate. Hartley didn't know what had hit him. And then Greaves goes tumbling in the pocket. He's dragged down by Josh Britton. And a ball up deep inside forward 50 for the main.
Hartley will do the ruck work. Underneath the scoreboard, Stewart involved. Big body there with Stewart. It's been around a long time. Messy bit of play here in the forward pocket. Umpire's giving it every opportunity. In fact, he's given one to Maryborough for a hold. Offending player might have been Bailey Henderson. Perry, who's been good this afternoon for Maryborough. He's got the free kick. Deep in his defensive back pocket. Dumps it beyond 50. 50 metres. Renault, he moved off the mark, did he, or was it lip off? Now, is it Bailey Henderson, or is it the... Henderson and the coach actually look similar, Hartley, don't they, the way they move? But Henderson showing his frustration. He's had it.
It's a shallow 50 metre, isn't it?
He's had a first half to forget, really, hasn't he?
Yes.
Perry now, short pass, goes super wide to the creek. Hits Brown. Brown short pass down the line, required distance just, I would say, to Reed. Reed short pass again to the wing, but they've copped it up. Slingo, 30-metre handball to Merley, and there's a push, and it will go. Another defensive error. It'll go to Maryborough, and receiving the free kick, it'll be Hurst. Famous name in Maryborough football. He kicks it long, shallow to win 50.
He's built like a truck, Lucas Hurst. He's a very exciting young player. It bounces back the other way. McConaughey sends it long, a bouncing ball toward half forward. Doing well was Merley to keep it in. Then he spears the pass infield to Henderson. Henderson's got Greaves inside the 50. Looks deeper than that. Sees Hartley. He looks a long way deeper than that, and he's bounced it all the way through. Bailey Henderson from inside the centre square. It carried a bit on the breeze, and it drags Castlemaine back to 4 points in arrears. 6-6-42. Maryborough 7-4-46. We played 31 minutes in this second term. Score sponsor Jason Westcott. Builder Local Footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
You mentioned he looked a little bit frustrated, and hopefully that will remove that frustration, because that was the Bailey Henderson we know.
Yeah. Well,
great pass inside from Zave Merley to hit him on the 50.
He's too good of a player not to respond, Bailey Henderson. Just put the first half behind you, apart from that kick, which was a super one. It's just Maryborough, they got numbers again. On the end of a handball was a nice bit of work through Edwards. Edwards has been good this afternoon. And on half forward, left half forward in attack for Maryborough, we're going to have the ball up. And I see umpire Jeff Williamson still adjudicating, Joel. Speaking about the age of trees, he must be up there as well, mustn't he?
Come on, that's a bit harsh on Jeff. He's just out there doing his best, Johnny.
Kick to the wing. Perry again, cracking up the possessions. If he can collect it, he does. Goes round the body. He puts it up the chimney again. He's done that a couple of times this afternoon. I don't think it's the right option. It's to McConaughey. This is Cal on the right, round the body, looking for Hartley. Good use of the body. Greaves now collects, handball, puts Murley under pressure, but he's good enough and finds space to the top of the square. Henderson's the target. He ran underneath the footy, getting it tied there, Joel, as it's a hold and it is a free kick to Henderson. I got a bit excited seeing it at the top of the square, Don.
I reckon Bailey Henderson just tackled.
Absolutely he did.
Brad Keogh crumped that ball and then got stripped.
100%. Exactly what I was thinking.
I've always said I cannot understand why we as a Castlemaine Football Club on away games wear white shorts. Maryborough never do. They're black strip right through and it's always been an issue.
Now it's Henderson to kick his second in a couple of minutes for Castlemaine. And got it well, he just snuck it in. He made it work, but it doesn't matter if you get him, I suppose. But, geez, there was a nervous moment there for the Magpies, and they'll take the lead in the shadows of half-time. 7-6-48 Castlemaine. They lead Maryborough 7-4-46. A 2-point margin. Score sponsor Parsons Towing in Castlemaine. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
So Joel, let's revisit that. Did Bailey get the free kick for Brad's incorrect disposal?
I think he came after that. That would be comedy on a new level, but I do think it came after that. Pretty good way to box a free kick, though.
Yeah, not bad.
Dispossess your own teammate, appeal for the free kick, and then away you go.
Line to drink later and say thank you very much.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm sure Brad would be thrilled about that in the wash-up. Remember, Stockton Simmons has it. He gets his handball away, and it brings us to half-time. And Castlemaine has rattled to the break in the last 7 minutes of the quarter, kicking 3 goals to. They trailed by 18 points at the 25-minute mark of that second term, and they go to half-time with a 2-point advantage. The hosts 7-6-48 to Maryborough 7-4-46. Feel like maybe Maryborough needed to take advantage on the scoreboard a little bit more than they did in that term. Had control for large periods of it for the last 10 minutes, dominated by the home team, and they have an advantage on the scoreboard to show for it. 4 goals to Michael Hartley at half-time, 2 to Bailey Henderson. He kicked the last 2 of the term for Castlemaine, and a goal to Darby Simmons in the opening term. Just the 3 goal kickers out of Castlemaine, 7 so far. For Maryborough, 2 goals to Jake Twycross, 1 to Bailey Edwards in that term, and singles to Castilia, Collins, Stewart and Russell. But gee, they made hard work of it, Castlemaine, Don Moran, but they get there in the end to hold a 2-point lead at half-time.
Yeah, the hype's there, but it was really frustrating, wasn't it? Like, frustrating watching it. We saw Bailey Henderson's frustration as well. But that last couple of minutes there, he actually stood tall, and that's what they needed. It's early days, always going to be a little bit frenetic, lots of physicality, and Maryborough were capitalising on all the spilled balls. Castlemaine just couldn't do it, but they look lively then, a lot cleaner, a lot more efficient then, and you can see when they go forward, they've actually, and now Bailey's gone forward from coming out of the middle. I think that's made that difference. Give him another target rather than just going to Michael Hartley.
It's an interesting test of a young captain's leadership, isn't it? To find yourself in that situation, give away a 50, and then come back and kick the last 2 goals of the quarter. I mean, good on him.
Terrific, yeah. It just shows you what calibre of player that is.
He's such an excitement machine when he's up and going, Bailey Henderson, and he's doing nice things at half-time here. So we get to half-time. It's a 2-point lead to Castlemaine. They kicked 4 goals, 3 in that term. Maryborough adding 3 goals too, but it is very, very much game on between the 2 Magpies teams. Castlemaine by 2 at half-time. Second half, and plenty more coming up on the other side of this. Stay with us. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
We'll tell listeners all about your local event with our fresh, free and local updates. Email direct into the Fresh Studio. Requests at freshfmbendigo.com.au. Like to hear a song from the 70s, 80s or 90s? Requests at freshfmbendigo.com.au. Bendigo Fresh 101.5 FM across Central Victoria. Fresh online. Download the free Community Radio Plus app. Only one local radio station for live local footy. Only one local station supporting live community sport across central Victoria. The people out walking know, even bus drivers know. And you know, it's Bendigo's Fresh.
If you use public transport, you've probably already downloaded our Community Radio Plus app, so you can enjoy this station on your commute. But a few listeners, like Sue here, hi Sue, still haven't got around to doing it. Phone please. Okay. See, now what you can do is you can listen to us on the go and help support us by sharing the station with your friends. It is that button there. Oh wow, thanks, no worries. So, get on board and download the Community Radio Plus app for yourself.
It's driving through the heat and the pouring rain. It's the champ who can't be beat. It's our steadiest great escape. It's the game we all grew up with. Now you gotta help it grow. It's football, country football. Get in the action.
Fresh sponsor Parsons Towing Castlemaine is a 24/7 towing service covering all your towing needs, from accidents to breakdowns. Parsons Towing can handle anything from cars, trucks, buses, machinery, containers, even motorcycles. Parsons Towing is a family-owned business that understands the importance of prompt, professional service. Parsons Towing has now joined the team at Bellevue Panels in Bendigo, covering a larger area. To get you back on track anytime, anywhere, parsonsmotorbody.com.au.
The Locksmith Store offers all your security solutions in the one place, specialising in all your automotive needs, digital locks, safe sales, and on-site servicing, repairs and installation. Fresh FM sponsor the Locksmith Store installs locks for both commercial and residential clients, listens to the client's needs, and delivers expert advice. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency service 7 days a week. The Locksmith Store, 428 Hargrave Street, Bendigo, right on the roundabout. Safe, secure, and service guaranteed.
You can do it at City Framers. You can do it by capturing your glory days, capturing moments and creating unique memories for teams or individuals. You can do it by remembering this year in sport. You can do it with a framed jumper, ball, bat, or design a poster as a club trophy or glory days keepsake. Fresh sponsor Bendigo City Framers proudly support Bendigo football in 24. As a matter of fact, you can do it now.
Fresh sponsor Parsons Towing Castlemaine is a 24/7 towing service covering all your towing needs, from accidents to breakdowns. Parsons Towing can handle anything from cars, trucks, buses, machinery, containers, even motorcycles. Parsons Towing is a family-owned business that understands the importance of prompt, professional service. Parsons Towing has now joined the team at Bellevue Panels in Bendigo, covering a larger area. To get you back on track anytime, anywhere, parsonsmotorbody.com.au.
Local first fresh sponsor Jason Westcott Builder, where your dreams become a reality. Whether it's crafting bespoke 5-bedroom homes or breathing new life into cherished spaces with renovations and extensions, they're there for you every step of the way. With a dedicated team and a commitment to exceeding your expectations, Jason Westcott Builder is your partner in creating the home you've always envisioned. Visit them online with their galleries and begin your journey at Jason Westcott Builder.
Steve Barty Gas is your local supplier of household, LPG cylinders, forklift, industrial and hospitality gases. They refill or exchange barbecue and camping cylinders and have a range of lubricants and greases. Steve Barty is a local bloke and has serviced Castlemaine and surrounding districts for over 40 years. For great service and competitive prices, contact Fresh sponsor Steve and the team on 5472 1262 or info@stevebartygas.com.au.
It's all here. Local football, interviews, information and live games. Awarded Best Community Match Day in Victoria by AFL Victoria. Only one local station for local football. It's our first choice. Bendigo's Fresh FM.
We are keeping it fresh. Your local station, Bendigo's Fresh, 101.5 FM.
It's halftime and I hope you're enjoying today's live Bendigo football match. Footy Fresh Central Victoria's local station has for more than 35 years broadcasted local live footy. Please support the local businesses that you hear during this broadcast, as it's local businesses that support your community football.
After local band Darkside's weekend song, we return with more live Bendigo football.
Heading down an open highway, those that seek, those that find, hidden fuse fire back at me. St. Paul shivers, racing down the slide. Late nights that I remember, I spent the afternoon waiting for the weekends to come round. Another Paris smoky hotel, stuck in this dead-end town. Nameless heads and nameless faces. They can try, but they won't really down. Late nights that I remember, I spent until the afternoon waiting for the weekends to come round. To come round. Waiting for the weekends to come round. Headed down an open highway, those that seek and those that find. Hidden fears fly back at me. Sand cold shivers racing down my spine. Late nights that I remember, I spent until the afternoon waiting for the weekends to come round. To come round. Waiting for the weekends to come round. Waiting for the weekends. Waiting for the weekends. Waiting for the weekends to come round. Waiting for the weekends to come round.
Some Central Victoria radio stations don't think much of local footy. Some Central Victoria radio stations love local footy. Not some, only one. Bendigo's Fresh FM. We do love local footy. Returning for more live footy, Footy Fresh is Bendigo Footy Live.
Half-time here at Camp Reserve. Today for football. Round 1 in the Bendigo Football Netball League for season 2024. And it is Castlemaine by 2 points at half-time. Trailed by as many as 18 on a couple of occasions in that term. Trailed by those 18 points at the 25-minute mark of that second term. Rattled home, kicking 3 goals too in the final 8 or 9 minutes of what was a very long second quarter. And they lead at half-time 7-6-48 to 7-4-46. Castlemaine's last round 1 win came in 2018 against this same opponent. And Maryborough's last round 1 win came in 2013. So Maryborough looking to break an 11-year drought to start the season. And Maine looking for their first win since 2018. And we're here on Good Friday to watch the two Magpies teams battle it out. Joel Peterson, John Hunter, Don Moran with you. Great to have you with us. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Listening on 101.5 FM or on streaming us no matter where you are. Great to have you with us. We are here thanks to sponsor Harcourt Perry and Cider Makers, the Little Red Apple. They looked after us superbly with the truck, Johnny. It's great to have the support of sponsors like that who are able to, I guess, give up their own resources to allow us to do what we do. It's very, very much appreciated.
Have you tried one of their ciders before, the pear or the apple?
They're glorious.
They are.
Absolutely
On a day
glorious.
like this.
They had actually sold the apple juice and the sparkling juice down at the canteen as well, which I was very invested in before, and just should have picked something up, and now I'm paying the price for it.
And thank you to Simon for that, and Norm Jensen was the one that arranged that, so Norm, helping that apple tree.
Don't fall out on Norm.
Claire, but yet he might after hearing this after the way Castlemaine's been going.
Well, if he could just deliver us a couple of Fuji's later on this afternoon too, that'd be
a little bit hungry.
That would be beautiful.
Is anyone listening in the kitchen? Send us some hunger.
2-point lead to Castlemaine at half-time. Goal kickers, Michael Hartley's got 4 for the host, so he kicked 2 in the first, 2 in the second, including the first one of the game. Bailey Henderson kicked the last 2 goals of that term. Darby Simmons with the other for Castlemaine. Maryboroug's only multiple goal kicker was Jay Twycross, who kicked a couple in that quarter one. A beautiful running passage of play. The second, a great mark out in front of the lead, and calmly went back to slot it through. Robert Castilia's got one on debut. The West Meadows product, Bailey Edwards, has got one. Seb Collins has got one. He since left the ground with what looked like a pretty serious left shoulder injury. So Maryborough are a man down from this point forth. Ty Stewart's got one, and Fraser Russell kicked the very first of the day for Maryborough back in the opening term. Don, 2 points down now, Maryborough. They had control for really probably the first 20 or 25 minutes of that term. Who's impressed you so far for the visitors?
Kobe Perry's been solid all day. Stewart's are 2 of the oldest stalwarts of the game, so it's great to see Kobe getting around and starting the season fit by the looks of things. And he's just in and under constantly. Stewart's just dominating the ruck, the bigger body and the experience. He's giving young Brown Kerr a little bit of a lesson there. But Gis Edwards came into it with that speed, didn't he? His leg speed was amazing.
Breaking lines,
opening the game up. So I liked his game, to be honest. So probably my 3 right now. The other one to mention is Constables. Is still a little bit dangerous up front. He went missing a little bit in the second half, but that was less of the inside 50s that he had opportunity. So I still like his game. So he may be a bit of a difference in this third quarter if they can get the ball into him.
And even Jake Twycross, I thought at times he looked dangerous when he got his hands on the football, and his endeavour can't be questioned. Castlemaine, hype doesn't win games of footy, Don, and there's been a lot of hype around Castlemaine, and I just sense that from Castlemaine if some of those players lift to at least half the standard we know, and that is taking nothing away from the Maryborough Magpies, Joel, because they deserve, well, they're not leading, but they deserve to be in a strong position, which they are.
It's a bit of upside for both teams, which is really promising. Of course, the best on ground thanks to our sponsor, Bendigo City Framers, gets a $100 voucher as well each round of this season. So great sponsors at Bendigo City Framers, and
every week that'll be, Joel, their sponsorship.
Can you take it in there and then get your best on ground award framed as well, so you get the frame framed?
Yeah, well,
because it is in a nice little frame. It's a very tidy looking little package that they provided us with, so that's something we'll keep an eye on throughout this second half. Of course, no A-grade netball this afternoon. Maryborough not fielding an A-grade netball team, so Castlemaine with the week off, so nothing to report from the A-grade netball courts. Earlier today, Castlemaine 7-point winners in the under-18s and 88-point winners in the reserves. And at the moment, they lead by 2 points in the senior footy. We head toward the second half. Castlemaine trying to get their first win since 2018 in round 1. Maryborough since 2013. Castlemaine by 2. Here's John Hunter.
Dead lead in the middle from the ball up. It was Ty Stewart and Brody Brown Kerr. Tapped it to a contest. Well, it wasn't real a tap, and it'll be redone. As it was a fresh area attempt there by Cal Huntley, couldn't get his boot on the ball. Keogh might have got a free kick. In fact, it was McConaughey. It's Ben. and it's going to go the other way, in fact. So I thought it might have been a hold off the footy. It's a little bit of an odd decision. Donna's Maryborough will have the first entry inside forward 50. They'll set themselves at the back of the pack. He hit it hard, was McClure. Couldn't get his hands on the footy. Also working hard in there was Hurst. Right on 50, Maryborough in attack to the Golden Street end. We'll have a ball up. No score in this third term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
So Stewart reaches over the top, knocks it down to Swat, tried to free the arms, got caught in the tackle, should have been holding the ball, comes out for Castlemaine anyway. Wilkinson, handball to Murley, moves the kick around the body toward the wing on the Jingle Street side, bouncing ball back there for Snelling of Maryborough. Absolutely broke the ankles of Archie Rickson, who went tumbling down. And then finds it down the line for Brown here for Maryborough. Just in front of the old timekeeper's box. Chips it forward for Swap. Jeff McElwain, medalist from last season. He looks to assess his options. 80 metres from home. Some kicks from goal. Chips it in field. Dangerous kicks. Been pitched by Rickson. The main can come back the other way.
Goes left leg end to Henderson. They're moving now off half back the Magpies. Brody Byrne now. He kicks the footy to half forward. Finds Greaves. Greaves, he's a long way from home now. He'll thump it inside forward 50 and he kicked it straight to the opposition in Snelling. He looked at him, Joel, and kicked it straight to him.
I thought, we've got the same hair. I'm going to kick it straight to you. That's exactly what he did. So Snelling took the easiest mark of the day, just about. He whacks it back the other way. Round Kerr with a hand to it. Knocked it down. Reese was there, driven into the turf by Greaves and caught deliberate in the end. So it was either going to be holding the ball or deliberate. It was the latter. So Greaves will take the kick. A couple of games with Collingwood's VFL team, and he's kicked it straight to the same bloke. So not only has he kicked it to the same spot, he's kicked it to the same person in the same spot. That's almost difficult to do.
In fairness, he called for it.
Yes.
In fairness.
Really, because he knew it came to him last time. Why wouldn't you? So Snelling takes it from inside the defensive 50.
Is he going to call for it back, Greaves? Let's see what happens here. Brody Brown, almost a screamer. Sat on the shoulders. He got his hands on the footy but couldn't get it. Now it's Byrne on the end of a handball for Castlemaine. Inside forward 50. Finds a Henderson unmarked. Right at the top of 50, directly in front. It'll be a good kick from there. He'll actually start his run from the centre wicket. And he's turned his back on play, so he likes his chances.
It's nearly a Ben Brown run-up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have a look, he's gone back to the middle of the ground.
It'll be a lifter, and they need it. They look a little bit better now, Castlemaine. Just a couple of rebounds off half-back.
He's not going to get there, Larry.
Well, it'll be a good kick, Don. As the train just shuffles by. He runs side, which is an indication he just needs to find a couple more inches, and it does. That's a very, very good goal, John Moran, as he pops it through as they take the lead further. 8-6-54 Castlemaine, Maryborough. 7-4-46, we've gone 4 minutes. That's his third. Score sponsor Parsons Towing in Castlemaine. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yeah, early days, early part of the season, fit, lovely flexibility. Geez, he connected well with that, and I would say that he's kicked the goal, and in the break I said we put Bailey up front and they put him in the midfield, but he's kicked that goal, so quality performance.
He should be coached on. He has kicked the last 3 goals of the game off his own boot to get Castlemaine ahead and now start to build a lead. Clearing kick from the stoppage. Huntley got it to Keogh. High kick from Ben McConaughey. Kicks down the line. It was a high ball toward full forward. Maryborough had numbers behind the footy and an awful turnover inside the defensive 50. That was an easy pinch for Brad Keogh. And he's got the ball 35 out. As good as directly in front, he could go and try and make it a 14-point lead for Castlemaine.
I'll back Brad in. Brad's a great set shot.
Had a shot earlier in the game. Brad Keogh couldn't convert on that occasion. This time, he's tugged it left.
Mozzed him.
So 2 shots to that end from Brad Keogh.
It
was a great looking set shot, and then he kicked it, and it didn't look quite so good, Tony. Fairness.
Say the opposite of what you're thinking next time. That'll work.
I'm going to go back to
Brad Keogh, hopeless, and he slots it. Useless. 9-point lead to Castlemaine. 8-7 plays 7-4. We're 5.5 through the third.
Maryborough have been so good. I just hope they don't go to sleep, to be honest, because they feel that little way just coming out of half-time. As Brown kicks it out from full-back, he kicks it, and it was okay, finds Twycross, he comes down the Jingle Street wing, and Brody Brown could jump at that time, not quite as high, but he had to sit and took a good strong mark. In fact, marked it on his chest, even though he was high. He goes, he's looking for Hartley, one hand on the footy, Ashton Keogh, bottom of the pack, can't get it out. 51 metres out from Castlemaine goal. They attack to the club room's end. They lead 55 to 46. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Hartley's got 4 on the day after stoppage early. Now Hickey can't collect it. She's been bustled over there in the end by Dunn. No whistle blew, I don't think, from the young boundary umpire there to signify that it was out of play, but it was clearly out of play because both players were right up against the fence. So on the Jingle Street side, between the wing and half forward for Castlemaine here in this third period, ball spins back into play. Stewart might have been held in ruck. In fact, no, he's given it away. So Brown Kerr will take it. Kick and a half from home for the main. He's going to drop it on that right boot, send it inside the forward 50. Why not when you've got Henderson floating across the pack like that? Bailey pulls in another, and he can go back and kick his 4th, and his 4th consecutively in the match.
Well, he's come out at half-time, and he's blazing, isn't he?
Yeah, from the midfield, he's having shots on goal.
And Brown Kerr getting involved as well, some important touches.
Yeah, nice mark just a moment ago, and maybe they had a chat to him at the break about getting in front of Stewart. Brody's got a great leap, and I'm not saying anything about Bailey's set shot.
35 out directly in front. We know he can be a game breaker at his best, and he is ripping this thing apart. Is Bailey Henderson 4 in a row for he and for Castlemaine. And now the Magpies of Castlemaine lead by 15 points. That's their biggest advantage in the ball game. 9-7-61 to Maryborough 7-4-46. We're 8 minutes through this third term. Thanks to score sponsor Bendigo City Framers. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Don Moran.
Yeah, he's definitely said, come with me, hasn't he? Last ball, it just shows you his quality.
Collins' injury as well. Do you think it's coincidental that it's kind of happened at the same time? Because he was showing a bit of an influence as the ball's won out of the middle again by Henderson. He kicks it to half forward. They're lining up here, Castlemaine. It's Keogh again, short past Ashton Keogh. Maybe an unlikely set goal kicker, but he's going to have a good shot at it. And let's see what he does with the footy. What do you think, Don? Well, firstly about the first comment about the injury. It seems to be coincidental that they've lost a bit of spark since Collins went.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because it's definitely changed and taken that.
It's a
mark. How do you say anything about that? I was about to use that wonderful word, momentum.
He's kicked it to Snelling as well. He tried to hit it too hard, and it just copped her ugly low, went straight to Snelling.
The footy cliche, momentum. That injury is with the momentum back in Castlemaine's hands.
So Reid in the back pocket, got it from Snelling. Now short chip to McClure. So Mitch McClure played the 9 senior games last year, and that'll be 50 for an encroachment on the mark from McConaughey. So Mitch McClure will trot 2 just beyond centre wing. No one stands the mark, so he just goes for a leisurely jog down the wing on the Jingle Street side. Kicks straight through the hands of Stewart. Dragged down in the tackle was done. And that'll be a free kick to Darby Simmons from right in front of us. Looks up, immediately moves the footy on. Finds Will Moran in the centre of the ground.
Moran will swing it further afield, wide to Hine. He's got plenty of time, and he's just stumbled at the last moment. It might be out of bounds. He just keeps it in, then he handballs it awkwardly along the boundary line. He muffed that, let's be honest. And now it's Maryborough alive. They'll rebound. A long handball. It's gone, 20 metres. Now it's contested footy. Brody Byrne taps the ball in front of him. They're on half back now here, Castlemaine. A couple of errors from both sides. Hine had just whirled at his feet. He should have collected and pushed them forward and didn't. And now we've got a ball up halfway between centre wing and half back, Castlemaine.
They've swung Stewart forward, so who's taking the ruck now? Has Mitch McClure gone in there, has he?
15-point lead at the moment to Castlemaine. Looks that way for the Magpies.
Stewart's gone deep, and Wilkinson's picked him up.
It is Hurst for Maryborough. Stabs his kick to half forward. It's a poor one in the end. And it's picked off pretty easily by Ben McConaughey. He calls for a bit of calm off half back and then whacks it long off the line. Hartley I should say, and up in front of him was Myers for Maryborough. Now ball back in the hands of Hurst. Centre wing on the outer side, kick inside the forward 50 for the Borough, and trying to punch it around the corner there was Britton. He was looking for Dunn, neither could keep it in, and it'll be thrown in. 35 out from the Maryborough goal, 9-7-61 Castlemaine, 7-4-46 Maryborough. It's a 15-point lead. We're 11 minutes into the third term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Stewart of the Maryborough Magpies taps it to Huntley. We've got a falcon on the back of the scone, I think, from a player running with a fly to the footy was Edwards. No, it's won't be Edwards, but that's the player it hit. It's Constable who's been good. Scoreboard end, which is the Galton Street ends. Constable now. He'll go long to a goal square. Stewart's in there. And geez, it travelled to the back of the pack, but Wilkinson was lurking and just let it come off his fingertips and dribble through for a minor score. Maryborough 7-5-47, trail Castlemaine 9-7-61. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Got to be awake to it at that end, don't you? The ball has travelled on the breeze. We've seen all the long goals in the game have been kicked to this end. Here's Henderson on half back as the Magpies of Castlemaine burst back the other way. Brad Keogh this time sends it to full forward and Greaves pulls it in. A good pack mark. It was lightning stuff, the length of camp reserve from the home team. And Zach Greaves can finish off the good work. He'll have a shot on a slight angle left of centre, 20 from home.
He's not going to kick it to Snelling this time unless he's sitting at the back of the scoreboard.
I hope not.
No, I think this is going through post high.
He'd have to be out on the netball court to have it kicked in his direction this time. So Zach Greaves, one of the recruits for Castlemaine this season, looking for his first goal in Magpies colours. He's got it. And Castlemaine has a game-high 20-point lead. 10-7-67 to Maryborough 7-5-47. That is 5 in a row for Castlemaine. We've played 12 and a half minutes here in this third term. Score sponsor Jason Westcott Builder. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Yeah, Bailey Henderson has definitely come to life. The connection off half back then and the link to Brad Keogh at half forward, then to finish it off to Greaves to take that set shot. Fantastic play. Ran through the line, received the handball. Starting to really stand out now.
Back in the middle now. Who's going to emerge? In Maryborough. Target the handball was McClure. Got it. They got him.
On in the middle.
Yeah. Always getting to know themselves. Watch the fight. I'll watch the footy as they
Constable and McConaughey, I think, and now there's a few more that have joined them.
throw the flag. They do. McClure wins, but he kicked it straight there to the Magpies. Huntley put it on the left and he put it goalward. They got numbers here. Dixon, he goes inside forward 50 and he spots up a leading heart. In fact, it's Ben McConaughey. They were all lining up for it. And I think, Don, a lot of the players being bought into it as well. Not so much through Henderson, like personally one-on-one. I just think the momentum overall, running off half-back, they look so much better now.
Well, it just opens the game up. You run and break a line and it allows you to have a direct kick in and make some connection with forwards. And we haven't seen much of Brad Keogh, but we have this early part of this quarter because of Bailey Henderson's run through lines.
I reckon we got another goal on our hands. McConaughey has slotted it through for the Magpies, and that extends the lead. It's 11-7-73. Maryborough 7-5-47. We've gone halfway through this third term. Score sponsor JB Re-Stumping. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo, and what's that, 6 in a row, Joel?
Yep. Is that goal, was that a Cal McConaughey assist from the middle? He was wrestling in the middle and having a little bit to do while his brother's having a set shot. So what nice little brother connection, isn't it?
Let's get him involved with it.
Probably 7 in a row, actually, Johnny. From that 27-minute mark on, that's 7 in a row now for Castlemaine, which is pretty good going.
I wonder if they got a good old-fashioned ripping at half-time, or whether it was just calm, cool and calculated. We'll find out after the game. Let me check with some of the players.
Maryborough need to steady here. See what they can muster. Going back the other way. Twycross kicks inside the forward 50, splits the pack. At the back is Wilkinson, hands it off to Byrne for Castlemaine. Kicks down the outer side, looking for and finding Greaves. That's a good grab, presenting hard up at half back. Able to juggle it and then track it back in flight, back over his head. Already close to the ground, shoots it short to Ben McConaughey. Should be 50, not going to be paid against Reed. The man with the ringlets picks himself up off the turf, and Ben McConaughey takes his kick.
Short pass, barely the required distance forward, finds Cal Huntley. Centre wing, Frankie Byrne wing, steps around a player far too easily. That was Edwards. That's pretty hard to do as well as they go shallow inside forward 50. Hartley, a big thump. He was caught behind, so defensively as a forward, if that makes sense, put the fist in there and put it over the boundary line. It did make sense, Joel.
Yep. So, it's like when Frankie's the first to go down with the cramp of the day. Just behind the ball there. He's had a power of work to do in that Maryborough defence.
He has.
Halfway through the third quarter, it's probably not what you want.
Get on with it, don't hold it up for a cramp as the boundary umpire throws it in. Stewart, Breon Kerr got caught behind. Juggling footy. Slingo threw his head back trying to get a free kick for Castlemaine. Umpire wouldn't have a bar of it. 70 metres out. Ball up, going towards Castlemaine's offensive end, which is offensive. It's not offensive, is it? It is offensive.
Offensive when you were kicking that way back in the day, Johnny. Clearing kick from Maryborough. Bounces off the schnoz there of Wilkinson off a hand. Picked up by Byrne. Hands it off to Simmons. Cuts the line aggressively. Handball inboard to Watson. Watson kicks to half forward. Lovely ball to Rickson. Dropped it at the critical moment though. Castilia was there, and then getting his back was Hartley. So Castilia's got it for Maryborough from half back, and that's an awful kick. Brown has just shanked that one out of bounds on the full. Kicked it straight over the Castlemaine bench. Woodman to bring it back into play for the Magpies. Spearing kick inside the forward 50s, an absolute ripper. And Brad Keogh just had to run up and pull it into his chest. And the man who is a very adept set shot yet hasn't kicked a goal today will go back and kick from 45 out directly in front.
I'm not concentrating on him, I'm concentrating on Leon Frankie going to the bench to have a bit of a go on the old pickle juice. I don't know whether Maryborough has ever realised that pickle juice is available.
Oh, Keogh's drilled that one into the left post, so he's getting closer. He's narrowing in on the thing. It's another behind. It's a 27-point lead to Castlemaine. We have played 18 minutes playing here in this third term.
Receiving it from fullback. Castiglia, with the pink boots on. He's getting his hands on the footy. They're snaking a few fundamental errors now, Maryborough, whether the tiredness is coming into it as well. Brown Kerr was at the back of the pack. Got numbers here, Castlemaine. Woodman, handball, finds Huntley. Huntley handball forward, the old 1-2 went to Henderson, and now Huntley goes long, looking goalward, but they've coughed it up. Straight to a Maryborough player. That's a whistle for...
I think Swatton's dropped back there. I think Swatton's got the ball now.
Yep.
Swatton now. We still can't get used to it without red and white on Joel. Been around a long time. Oh, Brown Kerr's taken... Well, he jumped high, jumped early. Didn't take the mark, but geez, he's providing some excitement. Now they'll go Castlemaine. Series of handballs. On the end of it is Henderson. He's at half forward. He'll go to the top of the square, where Greaves is waiting patiently and just took a nice uncontested mark in front of the eyes. Directly in front, 20 metres. Won't miss, Don.
No, he shouldn't. I'm not backing anybody at the moment. I'm done. Class is down. Interesting that at half time you spoke about Greaves and Keogh in particular, and they've been two terrific forwards so far leading up to the ball. I know Brad hasn't kicked that goal yet, but Greaves is definitely showing plenty.
Greaves directly in front now and makes no mistake for his second. So Castlemaine have come out firing in this third term. 12-8-80 they lead. 7-5-47. We've gone almost 20 minutes. Third term. Score sponsor Jason Westcott Builder. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
You still keep coming back to that injury. It's definitely changed things, isn't it?
The injury and conceding the 3 goals late in that term, and I mean, really earlier in the term, they probably should have had a bit more scoreboard advantage than they did, Maryborough, for the control that they had in the game.
Well, they looked a better side early.
Absolutely. Looked the better side for the first quarter and a half, and then now they look nowhere near it. They just can't mount that pressure that they did early. That's been the thing that's really dropped off here. Seven's thrown out of bounds on the full from half back after Maryborough got the clearance out of the stoppage, and now that ball inside forward 50 is much easier for Castlemaine because there isn't the pressure in the build-up.
Yeah, but Bailey's got his hands on the footy. We've seen the use that he has, uses the ball so well.
Long kick up the line here for Maryborough, and it's 5-1 just about, all in favour of Castlemaine. Bird steps to his chest, and then he duffs the chip. Gets it to Constable, out of McClure, handball inside, forward 50, Twycross with 2 already, pops it over the top, straight to his opposite number 22 in Hood. Simmons inside the defensive 50 to Castlemaine. Dangerous kick across goal, was a good option in the end though. Found John Watson, who hasn't been required to have quite as much of the footy today as he did last year, averaging nearly 36 disposals a game according to Premier Data, and then McConaughey has kicked it almost out of bounds on the full bounce just inside the line before it tumbled out for a throw in between wing and half forward for Maryborough.
Johnny Watson coming off a little bit of a back injury as well. He missed a couple of games, Joel, so he just might be easing his way into it. Not getting any younger, but really good serving. Brown Kerr against Stewart. Just making a path. Here's Maryborogh's chance here to get one on the board. A handball will come. It'll come in the direction of Constable, but a little bit going on here in the middle. They had an opportunity that must have... they kicked a goal there, Joel.
Yeah, Constable.
He got bumped after he kicked it.
So Constable puts it through. So that's a response that they really needed. I was waiting for the whistle to blow to see what was happening up at the top of the square. But let's go back to the scoreboard. 8-5-53. 12-8-80 Castlemaine. We've gone almost 22 minutes. Score sponsor Parsons Towing in Castlemaine. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
And Twycross didn't like the attention that Constable got. He's still going at it. Kick the goal, dude. Just back out.
So first goal of the last 9 for Maryborough. Breaks a run of 8 consecutive Castlemaine goals either side of half-time. And Cal McConaughey wants to put another one on the board for the Magpies. He kicks an absolute sack inside the forward 50 out of the centre. It bounced awkwardly in front of Henderson. Perry was there for Maryborough. Around the body, it's a clever kick to Castilia. On the Barkers Creek side of the ground. Just gets it to Britton, who pulls in the mark. Inches inside the chalk. On that outer side of the ground, couple of spectators making use of the mattress over the trees trunk there as their vantage point for the afternoon. That's a good, if unsafe bit of work. Kick inside forward 50 for Maryborough. Constable's out the back, kick the last, spins his way through the traffic, eyes the sticks and kicks another, and wants to go on with it too. Kind Constable's got a bit about him. He's kicked 2 in a row. And Maryborough drag it back to a 21-point lead for Castlemaine. 9-5-59. Castlemaine 12-8-80. 23 minutes played in this third term. Score sponsor Parsons Towing Castlemaine. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
His celebration is interesting, isn't it? He surely lets the defender know that he's kicked a goal. That's twice.
Well, bit of a response there from Maryborough in these last few minutes of this. Still must be a few minutes remaining in this third term. Back in the middle, Stewart against Brown Kerr. I'll hold. I'll win it out of the middle again here, Maryborough. The kick goes to the back of the pack. Running after the footy is McClure. The ball will tumble towards the line and go through for a minor score. So that sees Maryborough at 9-6-60 rather. 12-8-80 Castlemaine. 24 minutes gone, third term.
Plenty of time left because every quarter's gone 30 plus so far. Even with the injury for Collins in that second term, it probably still would have gone over 30. Watson at half back, long kick down the line for the main. Brown Kerr rode the bum nicely, handed it off to Perry. Jansen on the boot. Really lost it in front, almost hit him in the middle. Constable taking it out line, down boundary umpire says that was out of play. Constable says, I'm not quite sure it was. Spectator in front of us says, I'm not quite sure it was, and he tops back in right on the junction of the 50 and the boundary. So this one's yours, John, right in front of us. 25 minutes played, and Maryborough all of a sudden only trailed by 20.
Ty Stewart, front position, tapped it, but there's no one there. Slingo tried to swoop on it. He almost gave it to Brown Kerr, who was just too close to accept it. And Slingo, maybe a bit overzealous, and has given a free kick, one too high. It might be Reed at the bottom of the pack. It is He was just a little bit too severe in the tackle Swingo. And Reed, don't you think, Don?
A little. Yeah, a little bit overzealous.
Now,
Ty Stewart getting in there to separate them. I wouldn't be pushing Ty Stewart, just quietly.
goals are easy to kick from this area, I'm telling you now, Joel.
Righto, why didn't you kick it?
It's going left.
It will. He'll kick a goal from this. They're easy to kick for some reason, except if you don't know which way to kick them. And he just snuck it in for a minor score. So that sees Maryborough go to 61. It's a 19-point margin now. Castlemaine 80. 26 minutes gone, third term.
He's right there. You could have told him how to kick it.
Yeah. I don't know whether it's the slope of the land or the acorns or what it is, Joel, but something just works for it.
Just a bit of good juju over this side of the ground. Burn chips it almost outside the defensive 50. Moran's got it. In front of old man watching on with us this afternoon. Hartley's been swung into defence just to plug the gap at the moment. Lloyd Butcher told us, well, he'd only be playing in defence if something was going really wrong. And clearly something's going wrong in the last couple of minutes for Castlemaine because he's needed back there just to plug the hole. It's a little bit of tactical move to have that weapon in the arsenal. Semmons across half-back for the main. Now shifts it across to Slingo. Castlemaine name, played with Pyramid Hill last year in the Loddon Valley League. Kick out toward the boundary line, just bounces over and goes out for a throw-in on the Jingle Street wing. So margin was 33 when Zach Greaves kicked his second goal at the 19-minute mark of the term. We've played 28 now, and it's a 19-point game. Maryborough trying to claw their way back into it.
Good tussle here. Stewart did well. Tapped it down the throat of Perry, who kicked it long. Oh, they're out now again through Constable. He's been good, but it's a wayward kick. Byrne picks up the Castlemaine. Wilkinson breaks for him. Defensive arc of 50. Runs to the wing. Halfback kicks it beyond the wing, in fact. And McConaughey was with his target, but they've coughed it up again, so it's a turnover. On the end of a pass is Britton. Handball, inboard they go. They're looking nice here. Maryborough. Handball is smothered. It was Swatton. Now Castlemaine will bring it off half-back. Swings wide to Johnny Watson. He'll kick it long down the outer side wing.
Had nothing inside 50 then because of the extra that Hartley's providing. Great mark from Henderson for the main. Kicks inside the forward 50. Bit too hot for Keogh. Bounces out for a throw-in. You could just see the hesitation from Swatton then as he looked up inside the 50.
Yeah, there's just nobody home, is there? So, Constable's still live wire. He's giving him some headaches, and I think that's why Hartley has just put himself and dropped behind the ball and played that extra.
Only 18 years of age. Fine Constable from the throw-in. Stewart wins it down inside the defensive 50 for Maryborough. Perry's kick smothered. Coming out of there was Brown. Straight to his opposite number 6, Tyson Hickey, who's got it across half forward for the main. Intelligent kick across the centre square. He finds Hine. Hine looks inside the arc to Ben McConaughey, who's got it 45 from home, directly in front, but it'll take a good strike.
Just the settler, you think, Don, with this one?
Yeah, it would be nice to go into the break with it, wouldn't it? Once again, he is a good set shot, but I seem to moss them at the moment.
Well, he kicked one earlier in the term. Ben McConaughey that put them up by 26 at the 14-minute mark. What can he do with this one? After the three-quarter time siren, Ben McConaughey loads up and laces it.
Nice way to go to the break.
That is a real team lifter, having conceded 2 in a row. Maryborough closing in toward three-quarter time. Ben McConaughey steps up and coolly drives a home run and puts Castlemaine 25 to the good with a quarter to go here at Camp Reserve on Good Friday. It is the main 13-8-86, Maryborough 9-7-61. Score sponsor Bendigo City Framers. There is a quarter to go in the opening game of Bendigo Footy Netball League season 2024, and Castlemaine lead by 25 points. 13-8 to 9-7. Don't go anywhere. Final term on the other side of this. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Only one local radio station for live local footy. Only one local station supporting live community sport across central Victoria. The people out walking know, even bus drivers know. And you know, it's Bendigo's Fresh.
Local first fresh sponsor Jason Westcott Builder, where your dreams become a reality. Whether it's crafting bespoke 5-bedroom homes or breathing new life into cherished spaces with renovations and extensions, they're there for you every step of the way. With a dedicated team and a commitment to exceeding your expectations, Jason Westcott Builder is your partner in creating the home you've always envisioned. Visit them online with their galleries and begin your journey at Jason Westcott Builder.
You can do it at City Framers. You can do it by unique memories for teams or individuals. You can do it by remembering this year in sport. You can do it with a framed jumper, ball, bat, or design a poster as a club trophy or Glory Days keepsake. Fresh sponsor Bendigo City Framers proudly support Bendigo football in 24. As a matter of fact, you can do it now.
Fresh sponsor Parsons Towing Castlemaine is a 24/7 towing service covering all your towing needs, from accidents to breakdowns. Parsons Towing can handle anything from cars, trucks, buses, machinery, containers, even motorcycles. Parsons Towing is a family-owned business that understands the importance of prompt, professional service. Parsons Towing has now joined the team at Bellevue Panels in Bendigo, covering a larger area. To get you back on track anytime, anywhere. ParsonsMotorBody.com.au. Local first fresh business sponsor. JB Restumping aims to produce high-quality restumping throughout Victoria. JB Restumping specialises in house restumping, levelling, foundation problems and bouncing floors. If you have a house that is cracking, or a house that may have leaning walls, or a house that has doors that won't close with uneven floors, go to jbrestumping.com. JB Restumping, 30 years experience and your foundation experts.
The Locksmith Store offers all your security solutions in the one place, specialising in all your automotive needs, digital locks, safe sales, and on-site servicing, repairs and installation. Fresh FM sponsor the Locksmith Store installs locks for both commercial and residential clients, listens to the client's needs, and delivers expert advice. Plus, they offer 24-hour emergency service 7 days a week. The Locksmith Store, 428 Hargrave Street, Bendigo, right on the roundabout. Safe, secure and service guaranteed.
Fresh sponsor.
If your floor's calling out for a makeover,
Call in and see us at Carpet Call Bendigo.
call in for carpet,
Call in for timber or vinyl flooring.
call in for colour and design ideas,
For the perfect flooring roll of blinds or shutters,
call in and see us at Carpet Call Bendigo,
Call in for plantation shutters.
call in for floating flooring and synthetic grass, call in for style and latest trends.
Call Carpet Call, the experts in the trade. It's all here. Local football, news, information and live games. Awarded Best Community Match Day in Victoria by AFL Victoria. Only one local station of local football. It's our first choice. Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Returning for more live footy, Footy Fresh is Bendigo Footy Live.
Quarter remaining in the opening game of the Bendigo Football Netball League season for 2024. And it is Castlemaine who lead by 25 points at three-quarter time. 13-8, 86 to Maryborough 9-7, 61. It was a 6-goal third term from the main. And Maryborough only able to add 2 goals. They did both of those after the 20-minute mark of that term. And it is the main by a little bit over 4 kicks as we turn for home here. Joel Peterson, John Hunter, Don Moran with you. Great to have your company on 101.5 throughout Central Victoria and wherever you're listening right around the world. Great to have you with us as we get the Bendigo Footy Netball League season underway in style. Goal kickers for Castlemaine. Michael Hartley's got 3. Bailey Henderson's got 4. He kicked them all in a burst. 2 on one side of half-time, 2 on the other side of half-time for Henderson. They're the equal leading goal scorers in the game with 4. Zach Reeves kicked 2, both in that term for Castlemaine. Ben McConaughey kicked a couple, one of them coming after the three-quarter time siren. Darby Simmons with the other for Maryborough. A late goal in that term to Kyan Constable. He kicked 2. He kicked 2 in a row within about a minute and a half of one another. Fraser Russell kicked the first of the game for Maryborough. Ty Stewart kicked 1. Seb Collins has got 1. He's since left the game with a left shoulder injury. Bailey Edwards has got 1. Robert Castilio's got 1. And Jake Twycross kicked 2 in the second quarter. Of course, thanks to sponsor Bendigo City Framers, we've got our round 1 best on ground getting a $100 voucher to Bendigo City Framers, who are valued sponsors of ours here at Fresh Bendigo. Johnny, you've been just laying in wait in these first couple of quarters, but who impressed you in that third term for the main?
Well, at the last part of that previous quarter, and for a red-hot period of time, Bailey Henderson has got them not only back into the game, but into a winning position, so he's certainly a candidate for that. And the leadership of Hartley in that term, just his presence around the ground and dropping back, I thought that had a big influence in that third term.
And for the Borough, Don?
Yes, Kobe Perry and Joel Swatton were great in that latter part, and that's where they gave the opportunity to Constable, and he kicked 2 goals. And he's looked lively all day, but he gets up and about when he celebrates too. He doesn't mind getting in the face of the defender after he's kicked a goal. So I liked his game. Edwards drifted out a little bit, and so did Twycross. But I'm thinking Kobe Perry was probably a solid there.
Well, it's been 1,077 days since Maryborough last tasted success in the Bendigo Football Netball League. They'll be hoping that comes to an end. They'll need something special here in this last term. Castlemaine get the first clearance and a kick out toward right half forward, bounces out of play in front of Michael Hartley. New coach who's got 4 on debut for the hosts here at Camp Reserve. The boundary umpire spins the ball back into play. Jeff Williamson, David Carter, Marcus Osborne, our 3 umpires this afternoon. Henderson takes it off the pack. He's quickly wrapped up. And so we will do it all again. Inside forward 50 for Castlemaine. One here and just about be the backbreaker. Henderson with the palm off. Bends it around the corner to full forward, but and Frankie stands in the road. Dealt with a bit of cramp in that third term. And then a short kick. Almost found Edwards, but couldn't quite connect with him, and so Edwards will take it from, in fact, it'll be thrown in the back pocket here. Castlemaine 25 points to the good, starting this final term in attack.
Hartley doing the ruck work, had back position. He's got his hands on the footy now. He just give it by hand to Henderson, who put his finger in the air for his 5th because he knew it was true off the boot. And, geez, he made that look easy, Henderson, once he hit it. 14-8-92, Castlemaine lead Maryborough 9-7-61, and we've only travelled just under 2 minutes in this final term. Score sponsor Parsons Towing in Castlemaine. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
I like him up front. I know he's playing through the midfield, but both boundary throw-ins that we've just watched in front of us, he's hit the front of that ball every time, and then just the same again there. So he's pushed back to the middle again. I'd like to see him up front. I know he's kicked 5, but he's just about kicked them all from playing through the midfield.
He's kicked them all since about the 27-minute mark of the second term as well, so just about in this second half of footy. So a quarter and a bit, Bailey Henderson's kicked 5 goals and has absolutely ripped the game out of the clutches of Maryborough.
4 of those were straight, weren't they? They were all his.
Yep, it's a 31-point lead, and Bailey Henderson's contributed 30 points at least to Castlemaine of that. Long kick up toward half forward. It's a good mark from Myers, who might have been swung forward here as well to provide them with a bit of a target and aerial presence. Maryborough chips it short. Humphrey on the end of it, pokes it inside the 50. Constable up to meet it, had 1 go, 2, met 2 opponents as well. Then he still continues to fight for the football inside forward 50 for Maryborough. Burns there for Castlemaine, floats a kick off his left boot outside the defensive 50. A good mark's taken in the end. Early's got it, he's at left half back for the main.
Save Early, goes down the line, looks for Hartley, front position, had a lot of the footy but just couldn't collect. McConaughey offer support. My hand goes to Cal Huntley, who's getting busy in this last 10-15 minutes. It's been pretty much, on the money for most of the game. He gets it again. Short pass, they shared it around, and he's on the end of it. Then decides to slow the footy down. He got zinc cream all over his nose. Short to Ben McConaughey, who's on centre wing, Frankie Byrne wing, the Creek wing, goes to half forward. The back of the pack, Ashton Keogh probably didn't expect it because he was just standing there and just fumbled at the last moment. They've got numbers. Handball was quickly out to Hartley, who kicks it to the top of the square. 1-on-1. Reeves, he gave a little bit of a hold. I reckon that's the right decision too. There's no point arguing. You reckon it's a toss of the coin?
Sure.
Well, the man he was getting was Lan Francini, and he
given away 50.
Don't do that.
All I can say is that the ex-defender, you like him going that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not to the forward. But could have gone either way.
I thought that was a correct decision. Joel, and he's got a 50-metre penalty, short pass. Maryborough have got the opportunity off half-back through Brown.
Surprises me because we're a forward.
Yeah.
Brown chips it short.
I'm sitting on shoulders.
Britton to Swatton. Swanton for Maryborough. Kicks up toward half forward. Hines stands in the road for Castlemaine. In the shade out in front of the coaching benches. Picked him off like Norm Jenkins picking a Fuji up on the hill. Short chip to Huntley, so the two hardcourt apple eaters combine. Huntley's kick to the edge of the square, finds Cal McConaughey tracking it back in flight. 60 from home, inside the 50. Huntley, who meets Perry solidly, but pulls in the mark 40 metres out directly in front.
Pretty poor business decision, that one.
Would have been 6 weeks in the AFL for that.
Oh, I don't know why he would even put himself in that position.
He kicked him in the head, I reckon. That was
Kobe Perry knows no other way.
Just maybe that's why he misses so many.
Head over it at all costs for the Maryborough coach. Meanwhile, his adversary has got 4 on the day. Hartley looking for a 5th, just tugs it to the left. It's a minor score. The margin is 32, 14-9-93 Castlemaine, 9-7-61 Maryborough. We've played 5.5 minutes here in this final term from the Camp Reserve. Good Friday footy. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Brown plays on from fullback from Maryborough. He played when he's required 10 metres and kicked it to 50. He's going to cough it up here. Turnover was a handball that went straight to John Watson. His kick is an awful skewing ball that just went laterally, so across half back. Rip getting involved. Footy probably still being held. Umpire lets it go. Ashton Keogh wins the footy. He goes now to Rickson. Rickson on 50. Short pass. How's it work out? Not quite for Keogh, but the coach is there. Hartley goes round the body, off the side of the boot, gets dealt with. In fact, might go the other way. Who's getting the free kick here?
Yeah, I think Hartley's getting it.
Hartley's getting it. I thought they might have been niggling at each other. Hartley, it was an awkward looking ball. He was hurried. Now he's got a lot of time to straighten up, and he'll kick it from around about 40. Not much of an angle, Don.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. I thought that was going the other way.
I did too.
It was just for the push after he kicked it, and then Hartley got into.
Well, it was as he kicked it, to be honest, and then Hartley went on with it afterwards. He's the one that's there.
Hartley just kicked that.
I can see why he was worried, John.
It was a little bit. He was a bit laconic then, and it's gone off the side of his boot, and he hasn't even scored. He looks tired, Hartley, as well.
He does, yes.
He could have took his total from 4 to 6 in the last couple of minutes and has failed at it. But he's been good overall this afternoon.
When you're taller, John, the sun hits you first, all right? You know, but down where you are, it doesn't get you very often.
The blood takes a long time to get from the brain to the rest of it as well.
Kick in from fullback from Brown and seen across the boundary line by Edwards. It'll be tossed back in right in front of us.
Clearly I'm 170 centimetres.
Yeah, you're living below the canopy, to use the rainforest terms.
Very good looking man, to be honest.
Thought of he spun back in. Constable's going up in ruck here against Brown Kerr and might have even had the better of it as well. Cal McConaughey takes it off the pack, somehow got rid of the footy. That's a wonderful pick up from Ashton Keogh, sends it to full forward. Trying to take the mark was Greaves, 2 hands to it, flicked up by Hartley, Henderson, Greaves, all inside forward 50 for the main, shoved off it by McClure. Now Maryborough's defence can work this out. It's an awkward kick, turned over. Zave Murley, that's 50, that's 50. Myers just cribbed the mark a little bit. And it'll be Zave Murley who will be trotted to the goal line and can pop through one to further inflict some scoreboard damage here for Castlemaine. First game back in the black and white for the local product after several years of Golden Square, a senior premiership last year under Christian Carter. He spins the footy in his hands as he stands 30 from home. Pops it through. And Castlemaine's 15th hands them a 38-point lead. 15-9-99 to Maryborough 9-7-61. We played 8.5 minutes in this final quarter. Score sponsor Parsons Towing Castlemaine. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Some tired boys around at the moment. Starting to cramp. Both teams, players are starting to cramp. Poor Maryborough though, they're down a couple now in rotation. I haven't seen Stewart's disappeared out of the ruck. He's gone forward. Constable's into the ruck now.
Back into the middle. So is Jackson Hood. Callum Huntley wins it from the punch down to him in his direction and it's kicked forward. We've just got the numbers now. On the end of a handball there's Ben McConaughey. He goes and finds Bailey Henderson, who's lurking inside forward 50. Distance won't be a problem. Accuracy may be. 45 degree angle. As the 433 just gives us a bit of a blast that goes
Didn't
past.
sound like the 433 was all that pleased, just quietly with something going on.
Richard Jones has asked me where the creek is. Well, it's that big thing with water in it that sits beside the railway line, Joe.
Open your eyes, Richard, come on.
It's only been there since the gold rush days when they used to find gold in there. Hence the camp reserve. Bailey Henderson now kicks it. It will swing wide and late, and it will be only a minor score. So they go to 99. In fact, they go to 100. It's 15-10-100 Castlemaine, Maryborough 9-7-61. We've gone 10 minutes. Final term. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Pretty profitable day for Bailey Henderson, all things told. And Frankie off half-back for Maryborough. Pokes it wide. Tipped in by Hine of Castlemaine. Spears it inside the forward 50. Great kick finds Rickson.
Next triathlon.
And he finds Hartley with a further forward pass. Only a short one of 15 metres, but Hartley was charging out of full forward. And he's marked it just a bit beyond 40 metres from home. Negligible angle. I'll waste no time deliberating over the shot. Immediately trots in. That's a better spinning ball. Has he just snuck it? Not quite. It's away to the right. And it's another minor score. So that margin now out to 40 points the way of Castlemaine. We're 11 minutes into this final term. Great to have Bendigo footy back. Fresh Bendigo, where local footy lives.
Two country rivals opening the round, split round. It's the only one going on in most Victoria. Stewart takes it. Nice strong mark for Maryborough on half back. Now he turns and goes. He kicks it. He's got players on. Good strong mark. Away now again is Constable. He's been good this afternoon. Has a bounce. He handballs it over the top. He handballs it to grass. There's a whistle for a hole and he might get a free kick.
Professional free kick, that one.
Kevin Bartlett style, in fact, was it?
Yeah, for sure.
He sensed it.
He's confident, isn't he? He actually handballed it to himself.
Yeah.
He had to run into the forward line, but he's handballed it to himself.
He's in front of the kiosk at the camp reserve. He'll kick it. He's getting a fair run up. The man on the mark, Hine for Castlemaine, stands at around about 38 metres. Pretty tight angle. Crosses the paint mark of 50. He gives it a roost. He cocks his head sideways, which means he's following the ball and means it is a minor score. So they go to 62. They trail 101. We've gone 12 minutes final term.
First score of the final term for the visitors. Burley whips his kick out wide, loves that little kick across the body. Finds Hine. He looks up and then tried to find Ashton Keogh, who was sliding in. Almost went a bit AOT as he went to ground and picks himself up. Have a ball up. Jeff Williamson tosses it aloft right in the centre of the camp reserve. Hurst reads it nicely off the back. Shares the handball with Green. Got it back. Got dragged down. Caught holding the ball. Not an easy man to catch. Ben McConaughey did it pretty well. Off now to Huntley, who cuts a swathe through the centre. Sends it inside the 50. Greaves! That's a towering mark inside forward 50. 30 from home, slight angle to the right.
It's obviously why they recruited him, that strength and the presence on that occasion, Don. It's taken him a few quarters to get going, but if that's a stamp of what he's all about, they've got a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, he might be that option to try and get him one out, because when he's one out, he's quite strong overhead. That was a good mark.
He's a big lad.
Looking for his third is Zach Greaves. Set shot is beautiful. Loved it off the boot. 3 goals on debut for Zach Greaves. And he pushes that lead out to 45 points for Castlemaine. So it's getting away from Maryborough, but the scoreboard certainly doesn't flatter them in that sense. 16-11-107 to 9-8-62. We've played 14 minutes in this final term. Score sponsor JB Restumping. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. I don't think the margin is necessarily representative where this game's been at for most of the contest.
No, Castlemaine's worn Maryborough down, haven't they, really?
It'd be be a shame to see Maryborough get blown out of the water here because they've been super competitive. They've got a lot to look forward to. I know they'll lose some players in the next few weeks, but a very positive start as Castlemaine will win it through Woodman. He now gives it to Keogh. Keogh's been pretty good. Short pass, and he just hits Bailey Henderson, who marks it on a chest mark, and the man on the mark stands at 50. And Bailey Henderson's got a player on in Woodman, who will be an unlikely goal kicker. It's straightened him up, so he's pretty much directly in front. He's well within 50. Woodman now stands right on the chalk mark, the paint mark of 50. He's hurried his shots, which means to me he's not really confident. He runs close to the man in the mark and kicks it behind. In my mind, he's never going to kick that. So that goes to 16, 12, 108, 9, 8, 62. Need to take a deep breath, Don, and it's halfway through the final term here.
Deep breath because of what?
Oh, well, he rushed and panicked.
Oh, so Nick.
To kick a goal, yeah.
His eyes would have lit up. He's not really a goal kicker.
Would have had that as his 7th senior goal. Nick Woodman kicked a handful last year, 4 last year, but only the 3 prior to that.
Usually a half-backer. Yeah, playing a bit on a high wing.
Henderson gets the free kick here after Perry was a little bit late interfering in the marking contest, and then Reed's taken a bit of a leak from Will Moran there inside the defensive 50 for Maryborough. Drags himself to his feet.
And short him that move, Don.
Handed off to Mitch McClure.
I would have marked it.
He drives it outside the defensive 50 for Maryborough. Woodman's there again. Gives Dunn a bit of a shove. It's paddled toward the boundary line dangerously by Medlin. Umpire says chuck it back into play, and will do. So the margin's 46 points, 16-12, 108. Maryborough 9-8-62. We're 16 minutes through this final term, the opening day of the 2024 season in Bendigo footy. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Ty Stewart's been serviceable for Maryborough, but emerging with the footy now was Murley. Gave it by a hand there to Huntley. Huntley goes to McConaughey. He'll go now. In fact, it's Moran. Just fancy getting that wrong, Don. He's got the blue boots on as well. And there's a man out Greaves. Stood his ground. He had the opposition running at him, but they got caught out of position. Now Greaves, only 15 metres out. Not much of an angle to speak of. Will line them up and should put them through.
Yeah, that was good. A good run off half back from Brody Bird, linking up with Will. That was actually very, very good. So Greaves, this is before.
I'll be interested in give this a thought. You'd stick with under-18 player Archie Rickson, wouldn't you, for a few weeks?
Yeah, I always like that model. You give them a couple of weeks and they hold their spot, and as they start to, if they fade a little bit, send them back and get some confidence. But definitely, hang on to them for sure.
Terrible kick, Greaves. He just peppered it as well, so that's another minor score to Castlemaine. So that takes them to 109, leading Maryborough 62. Approaching 18-minute mark. School sponsor Parsons Towing in Castlemaine. What a group they are. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
I'll kick in from fullback for Maryborough. Again, it goes into the mess. Around clean hands to Slingo. Tries to shrug the tackle. Does eventually. Ben McConaughey. Awkward one off the boot to his brother and Cal.
He's got a good cramp too, by the look of it.
And so Cal McConaughey pulls the mark in. He's 45 metres from home is where Medlin stands on the mark. So it'll take a good kick from McConaughey from here, but they have been travelling a long way to this end.
He battled last year with his set shots.
He did.
Callum, the big dog of the family.
11 goals from his 15 games last season. Cal McConaughey was very good here in the corresponding matchup in round 10. He's going to lay into this from just inside the 50. Gives it a really good ride. Nothing wrong with that at all. Cal McConaughey drives him through and pushes that margin out to 53. 17-13, 1-15 to Maryborough 9-8-62. 18 minutes played final term. Score sponsor Bendigo City Framers. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo. Joel Peterson, John Hunter and this man, Don Moran.
So if they're going to be close to the finals, this is where they need to actually really crunch them.
Yep.
And like they've let them off with their set shots. I think they're 4 easy goals, but this is where they really need to just steamroll home now.
There's been a couple of panicked, lazy shots at goal too, I reckon, from the Castlemaine perspective. But you're right, Don, they need to go crunch and they need to go bang now. As Cal Humphrey does here, but don't argue. Slingo getting involved. Some of the names clubs really getting involved now, including Murley. Murley's kick is smothered. Is he good enough to tackle? He is. He's got Humphrey, but Humphrey then strong enough, and then he gives it to the man who's gone really quiet now in Edwards, and coughed it up again, Joel. They have. They're going to come across halfback. It's a kick. Lander with Hine, who's been pretty quiet today.
They look really tired now, Maryborough. Has been that way for a little while, but
spent their tickets. That injury though, Joel, still not convinced that to have a big downfall for Maryborough.
I think the way that they're getting around the field at the moment, it wouldn't have mattered. This would have happened either way. Henderson offloads to Byrne, out of Woodman, who chisels it into the pocket and finds Greaves. So they're just operating at will at the moment, Castlemaine. Greaves is on the end of it. Again, he's 35 from home. This is a much tighter angle out to the left, 10 in from the boundary.
Needs to ice this though.
Yes. Don't pass it off. You get paid to kick those, so kick it. He had a lead in there that he was going to honour, and that was not the right.
Sort of that mid to tall size. He's not necessarily a true tall forward, about 186 centimetres or so. So he's not that really bustling tall forward. They've got Hartley to do that. Not his best kick. He eased into it. Hartley came over the top of the pack, and it's offhand and through for another minus score. So that margin's out to 54. It's 9 straight kicks. We've just ticked just over into time on here in this final term between Castlemaine and Maryborough. Great start to this 2024 season. The contest was really on early. Maryborough had an 18-point lead late in that second term, but Castlemaine have had all the running since then and now lead it convincingly.
The kick in from fullback, which started with Perry, number of kicks beyond 50. Now it's kick smothered that Britton had it. Castlemaine with possession. McConaughey, this is Ben, bangs it on the boot. Oh, he's got a blow. I don't think he looked. It was Keogh. It just went beyond him. Now it'll go goalward. He flings a boot at it Hartley, but it was in vain because the ball was over the line. And it is another minor score to the main, 117. They lead 62. Maryborough, we've gone 22 minutes. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo in season 2024.
It's 13 of the last 15 goals in the game that have gone Castlemaine's way. Maryborough led by 18 points at the 26-minute mark. Hartley kicked his fourth to narrow it to 11, and then Henderson kicked 4 in a row by the side of half-time for Castlemaine to hand them the lead and then start building on this advantage. And they have not looked back. Henderson's got 5, Hartley's got 4. It's been a really profitable day for the two up front. Great spreading ball from Cal Huntley from the middle of the ground out to half forward. Found Johnny Watson, who strides through the 50. He sinks his right shoe into it. He tugs it left as well. So 17-16, 118 to Maryborough 98-62. So they are letting a few opportunities slip here, the main.
Yeah, I don't mind them wanting to get amongst it, but they've really got to finish it off.
McClure to kick it in from fullback for Maryborough.
Especially the other thing that plays into this is, of course, you've got 2 less games now, so there's 2 less potential wins, so percentage could be all the more important this season.
Well, Greaves was met heavily. Keep your eye on him for Castlemaine as the ball spills into the direction of Lanfranchini.
It doesn't like being tackled. That's part of the footy.
As there's a couple of sore boys out there as it's underneath the scoreboard. It will be a ball in.
Disappointing, isn't it? Get tackled and then have to have a wrestle afterwards.
Umpire will throw it in. 25 around from Castlemaine goal. But they attack again. Up in the ruck is Hartley, puts it in the path of Henderson, who overran it. Swooped on it was Brown of Maryborough, kicks it out wide and finds Reid.
Been okay today has Kobe Reid. 14 games in the under-18s last year for Maryborough, so another one of these youngsters making their way into senior footy. Long kick down the line looking for Snelling. Knocked away from him off hands. It'll go out for a throw-in. Beautiful day here at Camp Reserve. Blue sky. 27, 28 degrees, so taxing conditions for the players, but you couldn't ask for better. Not much breeze to speak of. From a spectator's point of view, it's been really, really gorgeous day for some Good Friday footy. Just what the doctor ordered and what this crowd ordered, no doubt. And a pretty solid crowd in here too as the ball goes out for another throw-in on the outer side. A nice buzz around town today. Plenty of people rolling in here to Camp Reserve. No parks left in the ground when I rocked up, so just park out on the street, but nice to see lots of people in here enjoying round one in Bendigo footy.
Castlemaine looking to get on the board again. Slingo gives it by hand to Woodman. Further afield by hand to Murley. Murley now needs kick to Watson. Watson at 50, runs goalward, puts it to the top of the square. Just running underneath the footy was Hartley. Now we've got a contest. Rickson picks it up 25 metres out from goal. Tight angle. Henderson, unselfish, could have blazed away. He had a player at the top of the square, which is Keogh, directly in front, who should put a major through. Just unselfish, wasn't it, Don?
Yeah, he should get this one though.
He should. He would have been forgiven having a shot at goal, Henderson. He was close enough and good enough.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get the half a dozen. He's been sitting on 5 for some time.
Brad, I'll tell you what happened then. He poked at it. He poked, you know that old one where you have a shot at goal and you just refuse to kick through the footy? Poked at it like a nervous man who's never kicked a goal.
I don't know what you're talking about.
1:19 playing 62, Castlemaine lead. 25 minutes gone. Final term. Yeah, because you're at centre half back. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
So, 6 of their last 7 scores have been behinds here, Castlemaine. This time Watson marks the kick in, sends it to the pocket. Greaves is up, and he's been paid a chop of the arms in the scoreboard pocket. And so Zach Greaves.
Don't shoot me for saying this, but you've got a 200 centimetre key forward, and you're going pocket, and we're dominating the last part of the game. Is that just? I'm sorry for bringing that to you.
Gee, that's a really nice finish.
Kick the goal.
For a bloke that nailed a set shot a couple of moments ago, he's killed that one around the body beautifully, and Zach Greaves has got his 4th of the afternoon, so they're still clearly working it out a little bit up front, Castlemaine, but they've got the return on the scoreboard so far. 18-17, 125 to Maryborough, 9-8-62, so that margin's now 63 points, the 27-minute mark of this final term. Score sponsor JB Restumping, local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
A mate of mine loves that turn, being the Stevie J. Loves it. Round the corner. Used to be a snap, didn't it?
Up they go in the ruck, back in the middle. It's the restart. Big punch there by Myers, who's playing in the ruck. Slingo overruns the footy. He's had a lot of possessions in this last term. Intercept Kobe Perry. Did well. Maryborough didn't look. Kicked it straight to the opposition in Castlemaine. Through Byrne. Byrne will spread it wide. He's got a player on in Hickey. Hickey now goes down the wing to John Watson. The Creek side, the Frankie Byrne wing, the Railway side, whichever side you want, as Castlemaine are moving it nicely now. Into the middle they come. Hood is standing at centre half forward. Play on, son. He does, well, kind of plays on and kicks it straight to the opposition.
Go in the pocket again, mate.
Well, yeah, but it was a poor kick. Intercept by Lanfranchi. Is that how you pronounce it? I was still
going with Lanfranchi still, but
whatever he's doing with it, he's kicking it beyond 50.
Generally, if it's an Italian name, the CH is a K and the CC is the Ch. Is how it works.
If it's not a pizza name to me, it's not Italian.
Fair enough.
Well, maybe we could make one of them.
Well, let's say you're not ordering a capriciosa, right? You're ordering a capricciosa.
That's an Aussie with mushrooms. Over near those oak trees,
Oh, yeah, exactly. The acorn trees. Ball straight back in. Slingo tumbles it inside forward 50 for Castlemaine. Looking to run up another one. Here, Lanfranchi took on Hartley. He's gone.
It's got to be.
He's gone. He just ran into the vice grip. And Michael Hartley laid in wait. It was like a Venus flytrap, just waiting for something buzzing past it and then just going whack, closing the arms around it. And 50. So no idea what for, but Michael Hartley could just about kick this one out onto the street. He could kick it to Newstead from where he's going to line this one up. And he's going to bag 5 on his first outing in Castlemaine colours. And this has just been a disappointing fade out from Maryborough late in the piece here. 19-17, 131 Castlemaine. Maryborough 9-8-62 and marooned on that score. 28 minutes played in this final term. Score sponsor Bendigo City Framers. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
Same again. Isolate the ball, you get a result, don't you?
Good response in the second half though, Don. I know we've talked about they need to crush them. They haven't quite done that, but they've had the opportunities. 6 or 7 behinds that Joel mentioned. It could have been a lot more ugly than this. So good positive response from Castlemaine. Take nothing away from Maryborough. They were superb in the first half, but Castlemaine They had their critics, including us, in that first half, but they've managed to respond. As we will be picking the best player for Bendigo City Framers, our sponsor. And I'll get you to think about that, gentlemen. We'll announce it very shortly. As Derby wins as the final siren sounds here at the camp reserve. It's been a long time since we've had a margin like this for the main. 19-17, 131. Big winners in the end. Maryborough, they weren't disgraced. Perhaps the scoreboard is not that flattering compared to the way they played. 9-8, 62. So 131 playing 62. Local footy lives at Fresh Bendigo.
So they're 1-0 for another year in a row, Castlemaine. And for Maryborough, it was a really impassioned effort early. They brought plenty of energy, plenty of intensity. They could not muster it for anything more than 60 minutes of football. And it was a big second half fade out from the visiting Magpies, who only managed one behind in that final term. Castlemaine kicking 12 goals, 11 in the second half, and 15 goals, 13 from the 26-minute mark of the second quarter onwards. So the last 2 quarters and a bit, it was an absolute blitz from Castlemaine. 15 of the 17 goals kicked from that point in the match. And they've run home massive winners over Maryborough to start off this campaign. 69-point victory in the end of things. 19-17, 131 to Maryborough. 9 goals, 8-62. And for all the positives from Maryborough in that first half, on Moran, they couldn't muster anything in that second half, which is when Castlemaine really got their game going.
Yeah, the swing of the game definitely changed. And like I said earlier on, that Maryborough looked like a really good nick to run it out, and they really did drop off, didn't they? Lost some rotations throughout that second half, which probably really hurt them in the conditions. And Castlemaine finished quite strong. So good leadership up front by Michael Hartley. So a good performance to start off his coaching career.
5 goals for Bailey Henderson, 5 goals for Michael Hartley, 4 to Zach Greaves for Castlemaine, 2 to Ben McConaughey. They both came in the third term. And then singles, 1 in the last term to Xavier Merley, 1 in the last term to Cal McConaughey, and 1 in the opening quarter to Darby Semmons for Castlemaine. For Maryborough, 2 goals to Kai Constable, both came late in the third term. They were the only goals Maryborough kicked in that second half. First goal of the game was through Fraser Russell. Goals also to Ty Stewart, Seb Collins, Bailey Edwards, Robert Castilia and Jake Twycross kicked 2. Seb Collins was the sour note out of the afternoon for Maryborough. From an injury sense, coming back from an ACL and having not played a lot of footy, or any footy over the last 12 months, after a very successful season with Sandhurst.